on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Temperature in the mid-60s as you look at downtown Tampa. And a few miles to the north is Raymond James Stadium. And out onto the field come the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a record of 8 wins and 6 losses as they get ready to host the world champion Baltimore Ravens, led by the great middle linebacker Ray Lewis on this Saturday night special. I'm Al Michaels. Welcome to Tampa. The Baltimore Ravens come to town. They cannot win the AFC Central title. Pittsburgh's already clinched that, but they can clinch a wild card spot tonight. They have won 6 of their last 8. They come in with a record of 9 wins, 5 losses off a shutout over Cincinnati, and Coach Brian Billick thinks they are primed for a good playoff run. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Bucs, for the 3rd year in a row, started with a record of 3-4. But they're hot now. They have won 4 of their last 5 and come off their best game of the season. They routed New Orleans last week, but their coach, Tony Dungy, sums it up by saying, "We handle adversity very well. We have trouble with prosperity." So which Bucs team shows up tonight? Dan Fouts, conventional wisdom says a very low-scoring, tight game tonight. What do you think?
Now, when you talk about these two teams, the first thing that comes to mind is defense. Both teams are led by dynamic personalities and players. Warren Sapp for the Bucs, Ray Lewis for the Ravens. Now, the key to tonight's game will be which team's defense can establish their will and impose it on their opponent and sustain it throughout the game. Now, the Ravens claim to be playing championship-style defense lately, but 2 statistics could haunt them tonight. Number 1, they've given up over 150 yards rushing in the last 2 games. And secondly, turnovers, they've only been able to create 24 in 14 games. Now, that's 10 fewer than their opponent tonight, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And Ray Lewis doesn't want to see a repeat of that as he gets his team jacked up for their appearance in Tampa. Tonight's air and ground stats are brought to you by FedEx. Tune in, log on, and play now on Enhanced TV at ESPN.com or NFL.com. Enhanced TV, the ultimate Monday night experience. This beautiful facility in Tampa, jammed to capacity. Baltimore against Tampa Bay. Denny, clearly one of our best matchups of the season. Should be a great game.
Yes, it should, Al. Quote the Raven, never more. You know, I'm sure Edgar Allan Poe had never met Shannon Sharpe when he penned those words, because Shannon's always flapping his beak. Although he was strangely silent this week, I'm thinking Ray Lewis might have grabbed him and told him to zip his pie hole vis-a-vis his defensive mentor at the University of Miami, Warren Sapp. Let sleeping defensive gods lie. Plus, it's time for the Ravens to start focusing on the summit, because they've lost some key men down below in the Glacier Field this year. Leon Searcy, Jamal Lewis early, Mike McCrary late. On the Tampa Bay injury front, we've lost another Grammatica. First it was Billy, now it's Marty. When will the madness end? I'll tell you when it'll end, when these 2 guys quit celebrating 22-yard field goals like it was VJ Day. Hey, Sailor, get over here. Give me a kiss.
Hey, meanwhile, neither team hopes the madness ends until February 3rd. That's the date of the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Great matchup on this Saturday night. Baltimore and Tampa.
ABC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
So here we go as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get ready to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Ray Lewis is from Florida, so he comes home, and he's with Eric Dickerson.
Thanks, Al. Ray, your defense recorded their first shutout last week against Cincinnati. Do you feel that the defense is playing as well as it did last year right now?
I think we're getting there now, Eric. I think we're at the point right now where we know it's playoff time. We're at the point right now we know defense win championships, and we're trying to go ahead and New Orleans. We need to do it tonight.
You're playing against 2 different types of backs tonight, Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott. What is the approach for each of these running backs?
Honestly, Eric, we're built for both of them. I mean, if you want to put outside in the game, we got Sam and Goose. If you want to put Warwick Dunn in the game, we got Adela Thomas and Peter Bowell. And then I'm scraping everything up. So, hey, let's play football.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Al?
All right, thank you, Eric. Ray Lewis, the last time he was here, Of course, it was for the Super Bowl. Martin Gramatica with the pulled hamstring, incurred last week, on the shelf tonight. Thus, Doug Bryan, who had been out of the NFL this year, then kicked off for Indianapolis, oddly in a Monday night game a couple of weeks ago, and then he was released by them and signed by Tampa. Jermaine Lewis, one of the very best in the league at running back kickoffs and punts, will return the opening kickoff on this very balmy night. Two teams, each trying to, in effect, clinch a playoff spot as it's taken at the 4. Lewis stumbles, falls down at the 21-yard line, and then is tackled at the 24, and we begin with a flag on the first play as Dick Hantak is the referee tonight. And it will be against Baltimore, so Lewis falls down, and then they'll wind up getting penalized half the distance to the goal line. Let's check in with Melissa. After we hear from Dick Hantak, we'll go down to Melissa. Official call right here.
During the return, number 50, 10-yard penalty, first down.
As noted, now to Melissa.
Well, Al, even though these two teams have never played each other, the head coaches, Brian Billick and Tony Dungy, have great familiarity. They worked together in Minnesota in the early 90s. Billick, the offensive coordinator, Dungy, the defensive coordinator. So isn't it ironic that last year Billick won a Super Bowl with that record-setting defense, and this year Dungy's offense has thrown more passes than any team in the league this year? Both coaches told us that after sitting next to each other for so many years, they each know exactly what the other one is thinking and what his tendencies are, so it should be a classic chess match, Al.
A great deal of respect for each other, trying to outsmart each other tonight as Billick's team begins with a Terry Allen 2-yard run up to the 16, so it's 2nd down and 8. Elvis Gerback hands the ball off to Allen, and he goes nowhere as we meet the Baltimore offense.
Elvis Gerback, University of Michigan. Terry Allen, Clemson.
Sam Gash, Penn State, Nittany Lion.
Kadri Ismail, Syracuse University.
Travis Taylor, University of Florida.
Shannon Sharp, Savannah State. Jonathan Ogden, UCLA.
Edwin Militalo, University of Arizona.
Mike Flynn, University of Maine. Benny Anderson, Tennessee State University.
Kip Vickers, University of Maine.
Now Gerback retreats on 3rd down and 8. Over the middle, completes the pass to Mo Williams, who comes in on 3rd down, and they convert a first down up to the 29-yard line.
That's one thing that Elvis Gerback must do tonight, is be very patient and be willing to take the dump-off pass, as he did that time to Mo Williams. When Williams comes in the game, he adds a lot of speed to this backfield of the Buccaneers. Good pass protection for Gerback, and a fine throw and a key pickup, first down there for the Ravens on their first 3rd down.
12-yard gain. Williams out. Allen back in. Jason Brookins, their other running back, is still hurt. Hope to have him back next week with the Ravens. And Allen juggles the pass as he was in the grasp as the ball was approaching him of Derek Brooks.
I'll tell you what an odd year it's been for Baltimore as far as their offensive backfield goes, Al. They are now considering Terry Allen to be fresh legs. He's been in forever.
That's because he is coming back from a broken hand, missed some action, and really does have fresh legs.
Simeon Rice with the pressure there, Derek Brooks with the hit, and Brian Kelly with a missed opportunity to pick that one off and take it to the house.
2nd down and 10 now from the 28-yard line. Gerback to the air again, and that's a flat-out drop by Shannon Sharp. Another 3rd down coming up. Here is the Buccaneer D.
Marcus Jones, University of North Carolina.
Anthony McFarland, LSU.
Warren Sapp, University of Miami Hurricanes.
Simeon Rice, University of Illinois.
Sheldon Quarles, Vanderbilt University.
Jamie Duncan, Vanderbilt University.
Derek Brooks, Florida State University.
Brian Kelly, University of Southern California.
Rondé Barber, University of Virginia.
John Lynch, Stanford University.
Dexter Johnson, Florida State University.
And now on 3rd and 9, that is an interception, and that's Ronde Barber's 10th of the season. A late Christmas gift after it looked like the Bucs had squandered another good opportunity. A deflected pass deflected back into the hands of Ronde Barber.
3 deflected passes now for Gerbach in a row. Ronde Barber had 3 interceptions last week against New Orleans. Derek Brooks, the playmaker in the middle, deflects it to Jamie Duncan, who volleyballs it over to his running mate there, Ronde Barber. And Barber on his way to the Pro Bowl with 10 interceptions. That leads the NFL.
Well, much like hockey, they can only give out 2 assists on 1 play, and they both were received there. And he now holds the record for a single season with 10 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And that's the first guy to come up with double figures in interceptions in 11 years since Mark Carrier did it with the Bears in 90. And they begin with Riddell Anthony carrying it on an end around, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Rob Burnett. And for Elvis Gerbach, you're looking at a guy who's going to lead a team into the playoffs if they win tonight, but now with 3 more interceptions than touchdown passes. And Ronde Barber, whose twin brother Tiki is involved in tomorrow's big game, the Giants in Philadelphia.
You sure that's Ronde and not Tiki?
You never know.
I tell you what, he's got almost as many receptions as his brother.
Second and 13, and that pass is thrown behind Carl Williams, and Dwayne Starks is there covering. Here is the Buccaneer offense.
Brad Johnson, Florida State University.
Warwick Dunn, Florida State.
Mike Onsta, Purdue.
Keyshawn Johnson, the real USC. Carl Williams, Texas A&M Kingston.
Dave Moore, University of Pittsburgh.
Kenyatta Walker, University of Florida. Randall McDaniel, Arizona State.
Jeff Christie, Pitt.
Cozy Coleman, University of Tennessee.
Jerry Wunsch, University of Wisconsin.
3rd and 14. Keyshawn Johnson saying the real USC, University of Southern California. I think because South Carolina's in town to play on the Outback Bowl. That's thrown over the middle to Allstott, and he is stopped at the 35-yard line, so they get the turnover and can't cash in. Jamie Sharper makes the tackle. Line of scrimmage will be the 35-yard line.
And that would be pushing Doug Bryan back too far to try a field goal. So the Raven defense comes up with 3 solid plays there. You have to question the Buccaneers' first offensive play, though, as well as they ran the ball last week against New Orleans, to come out with a reverse to Riddell Anthony that got nothing.
Jermaine Lewis is back to receive the kick. Mark Royals will need to try to angle it or pooch it. And he angles it. And the play is made at the 1-yard line by Dwight Smith. And that was quite a play by Smith because he had fallen down. He had slipped on the turf. He got back up and keeps it from going into the end zone to pin the Ravens deep. He gets knocked down, gets back up, wins the battle. Tonight's game from Tampa is being brought to you by Ford Outfitters. No boundaries. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be. And Killian's Irish Red, which reminds you, one look says a lot. Ravens are backed up. Their second possession begins at their own 2-yard line with Gerbach retreating to the end zone and then going deep, and the pass is incomplete. Great coverage that time on Shannon Sharp going down the sideline. Ronde Barber and John Lynch both covering on the play.
2nd and 10. One thing about the Bucs is they will bring pressure from their front 4. Anthony McFarland, number 92 right here. Actually, the other side here. Watch out as he fights through the double team of Ed Flynn. Gets pressure on Gerbach, but not in time.
2nd and 12 now. Terry Allen is the eye back. And Allen trying to give them some breathing room. Takes it out to the 4 where Warren Sapp, big number 99, makes the tackle.
Shows you just how important that play by Dwight Smith was to pin the Ravens deep in their own end here, where Sapp and McFarland in that front 4 can control things and let the secondary make plays. So tough to throw against Derek Brooks in the middle. Ronde Barber now in nickel will move to the inside as Donnie Abraham comes in to play the corner on the outside.
3 wideouts here. Mo Williams is the sole setback. Gerbach fires, and that pass is almost intercepted by Donnie Abraham. So Gerbach has thrown 1 interception and 2 near interceptions.
And he may be hurt. Been under pressure on almost every ball he's thrown tonight. On the outside, here's Abraham and Travis Taylor here. Abraham drops an interception. That's 2 balls now the Bucs have dropped. And here's the shot, though, on the far side, coming from the blind side of Elvis Gerbach. And that's Warren Sapp. Who else?
But the big injury is to Marcus Jones, because he is down and writhing in the end zone. The Buck defensive end. As you look over at the Raven bench, their backup quarterback is Randall Cunningham, who is 2-0. But the attention right now is being paid to Marcus Jones as you look at Cunningham, who filled in midseason and won both starts in relief of Gerbach.
Well, Gerbach's upside, as we saw in Kansas City last year, is potentially 4,000 yards. But his downside is something that they had in Trent Dilfer last year. Dilfer would not have thrown that pass. He was a good field manager. He kind of knew that he wasn't capable of 4,000, so he didn't make throws like that.
You got to wonder about these interceptions that the Buccaneers have dropped. They didn't get any points out of Barber's 10th interception of the year. And right there, if Donnie Abraham makes that catch, he may put it in the end zone.
Now Kyle Richardson to punt. That was a pretty key 2-yard pickup to the 4-yard line, because Richardson has had 6 punts blocked in his career, plus 2 in a playoff game last year. He takes a while to get the ball away, and he gets this one away. But when he does, it's normally for good distance, and it's fair caught at the 49-yard line by Carl Williams. 45-yard kick. Tampa Bay will take over at the Baltimore 49 as they work on Gerbach. 5 minutes into the game, 0-0 in Tampa. Brian Billick, one-time offensive coordinator at Minnesota. Tony Dungy, one-time defensive coordinator at Minnesota. Melissa talking about their relationship. Both having something special in the month of December. Dungy, since he took over in '96, 12-1 at home in the month, as Mike Allstott is stopped for no gain. And you saw Brian Billick's record 9-1 overall. Brian now in his 3rd year as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens.
I think that Allstott's going to use that 360 as his move du jour here at the end of the season. Saw him pop a few of those last week against New Orleans. Looks like he's going to throw them off. They expect him just to bulldoze them. Mike's throwing him the Pearl Monroe spin move.
Warwick Dunn is now in the game. When the season began, it looked like as if they would feature Dunn more than Allstott this year. It's turned out to be the reverse. Here is Dunn. He tries to cut it back, and Warwick Dunn having, without question, his worst year. Kelly Gregg makes the tackle, and I don't know whether it's just the injury. He's been bothered with a foot injury all year, or blocking schemes, or whatever, but Dunn is having a terrible year.
Well, you know what, Al? Most of these teams thrive on a change of pace in their offensive backfield. You look at the Pittsburgh Steelers between Bettis and Zaraway. They have it covered from B to Z. But Tampa Bay over the years has always thrived when one or the other back picked up most of the carries, be it Allstott or Dunn. Either one, just make sure one of them gets most of them.
We saw that one number, and that says all you need to know. His average rush, 2.7 yards per attempt, as Johnson gets hit as he throws, intended for Dunn, and overshoots him. Dunn was covered by Ray Lewis. So it's 4th down and 14. And again, the Bucs started drive in Baltimore territory and can do nothing with it.
They've run 6 plays, and they have negative yardage for those 6 plays. But the emphasis on the running game is more north and south now with Mike Allstott in the game. They want to use Warwick Dunn just as they did there as a 3rd down receiver out of the backfield, but Ray Lewis had tight coverage, forced that high throw.
Now Mark Royals, whose last punt pinned Baltimore at the 2-yard line, floats one toward Lewis, but angles it out of bounds off the side of his foot, and this time Baltimore will begin the drive at its own, as they keep marching it off, 27, make it 28-yard line. And Gerbach appears ready to come back into the game, and here he comes with 8.5 minutes to play in the opening period. So Elvis back at the helm after a 25-yard punt by Mark Royals. Well, next Monday night, final final week of the season. It ends in Baltimore. Ravens are on again, taking on the Vikings. Meanwhile, tomorrow, ESPN's game at 8:30 Eastern time. Redskins and Saints. What's the story with Elvis Grbac? Let's go to Melissa.
Well, official word from the Ravens, he has bruised ribs. Remember, he missed 2 games earlier this year with injured ribs, so something to keep an eye on. As for the Buccaneers, Marcus Jones, he has a sprained right shoulder. His return is questionable.
And that's why Steve White, number 94, is in the game in place of Jones after Terry Allen picks up a couple, and you look at Jones.
You see that yards per attempt stat there on Elvis, Al. I'll tell you what, Dilfer's was even a little more incrementally better last year. So it's, like I said, if they're not going to get the big numbers out of Elvis, they're going to at least expect him to manage the game so the defense can have that hero mentality like they did last year with Elvis.
Well, Grbac was very candid earlier this week. He rated his year as subpar. Doesn't mince words. Terry Allen makes the catch and is taken out of bounds by Derek Brooks.
And the reason it's been subpar is he's used to making plays down the field. When he was with Kansas City, Dennis talked about those 4,000 yards, but this is a different style of offense. This is one that Trent Dilfer did a great job for them last year. But you got to be patient. You got to throw the checkdowns, hit the tight end, and occasionally go deep. But getting Travis Taylor is important for Grbac to get him involved.
One big advantage that Dilfer had that Grbac doesn't have is the presence of Jamal Lewis, the running back, and that pass comes close to getting intercepted by Rondé Barber, intended for Condre Ismail. Perfect coverage.
And ironically, Grbac has come over here from Kansas City, and I know it wasn't a trade, but Priest Holmes now resides in Kansas City. He's up around 1,850 total yards, so you have to wonder who has accrued better from the other team in the offseason.
Little irony here, because as Kyle Richardson gets ready to punt, everybody thought the conventional wisdom was that Brad Johnson would wind up with Baltimore, but he chose Tampa. Meanwhile, a bad kick that rolls out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
And you wonder how the pressure that Richardson faced last time he punted affected that punt.
Game begins and Fitz starts. Reminder, New Year's Day, that's Tuesday. It begins with the Tournament of Roses Parade, 11 a.m. Eastern. Then to football. The Citrus Bowl is Michigan against Tennessee. The Fiesta Bowl is Oregon, Colorado. Then Illinois, LSU on Tuesday night. Maryland, Florida, Wednesday night. And then Thursday night, the 3rd, the Rose Bowl, the national championship game from Pasadena, Miami against Nebraska. Tampa Bay's 3rd possession, -5 total yardage on their first 2 possessions. And from the 39, Brad Johnson throws, and that is caught. Keyshawn Johnson almost dropped it, but was able to secure it. Gets tackled by McAllister. The other night, Michael Jordan scored 6 points for the Wizards in their game against Indiana. Tonight in Washington, look at that. Jordan scored 51 points as the Wizards beat the Hornets 107-90. Unreal.
Well, and you know, unreal quit meaning anything to me vis-a-vis that guy a few years ago. It's like ever since I saw him come out of that sick bed in Utah, anything goes.
Unreal. At the age of 38, scoring 51 as Johnson on 2nd and 1. Jams it into Keyshawn Johnson. Johnson to Johnson for a first down at the 43-yard line.
That's the one thing about Keyshawn Johnson. At 6'4", 215 pounds, he has the power and size to get inside even a big corner like Chris McAllister. And the confidence from his quarterback that he's going to make the catch in traffic. 104 catches in traffic for Keyshawn this year.
Next one will break Maury Wills' record.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Against a 4-man Baltimore front, and they give it to Warwick Dunn. He has a little bit of room to roam. The umpire goes down in the pile as well. And let's take a look at the Baltimore defense.
Rob Burnett, Syracuse University. Sam Adams, Texas A&M University. Tony Saragusa, Pitt. Adalys Thomas, Southern Miss.
Peter Boulware, Florida State University.
Ray Lewis, University of Miami.
Jamie Sharper, University.
Of Virginia!
Dwayne Starks, University of Miami.
Chris McAllister, University of Arizona. Corey Harris, Vanderbilt University. Rod Woodson, Purdue University.
2nd down and 6. Mike Allstott carrying the ball. So we saw Dunn and now Allstott close to a first down. 2 guys coming out of the Tampa backfield. Eric, who's the more effective tonight? What do you think?
Well, Al, I really believe they should feature Warwick Dunn against this Ravens defense because of his quickness. They should run quick traps and draws. Plays that take a long time to develop won't work because of the quickness of this defense. I really don't think they should feature Mike Allstott. He's not quick. He's a power back, and he's not really able to make people miss. He's a straight line runner, and that is what this Ravens defense like, straight line runners.
So we'll see what Dunn does tonight in a year, as we say, that his average per carry is only 2.7. Dunn set it up, and then Allstott picks up the first down.
But in talking to Allstott yesterday, he says he's healthy as he's been all year. And I guess that anybody that saw the game last week against New Orleans, when he went for 101 yards against that defense, broke many tackles, showed a lot of power, and the Buccaneers feel that on the right side with Jerry Wunsch, where they hit that time with Allstott, they have a size advantage, and the power just may work on the outside.
And Dungy can play mix and match. They're both in the game here. Allstott the fullback, Dunn is the tailback, and Johnson to throw. Guns it over the middle, and it's almost picked off by Lewis, who had 2 last week against Cincinnati.
Well, that was the amazing thing about Lewis in the Super Bowl last year, the way he drops into these patterns, eh, Dano?
Well, he's got great speed, he's got great depth, and he's got awareness. He has to fight behind the umpire there, Carl Madsen. Maybe, just maybe, Brad Johnson didn't see him hiding behind the umpire. But it seems like guys get hot on defense, too. We've seen Rondé Barber with interception tonight, almost got another one. Now Ray Lewis has a nose for the ball.
2nd and 10. They flank Allstott out to the left. Line him up as a wideout. Give the ball to Dunn. And Warwick can go nowhere. Minimal gain, if any. Ray Lewis is there. So Lewis drops into coverage and then makes the tackle at the line of scrimmage on the next play.
Well, the locals are restless.
Now they're restless because this man is the quickest linebacker in football. Real speed here, recognizing, dodging the block of Randall McDaniel, making the tackle on Warwick Dunn.
Saragusa took on 2 men. It looked like he was wearing them like water wings.
Tony was questionable tonight. He even suit up after being featured in the teams. 3rd down and 9 as Johnson sets, throws, and jams it into the tight end. That's Dave Moore, but he's a little short of the first down. Needed 9 and got about 8.5. Carnell Lake, the longtime Steeler, makes the tackle, and Dungy taking a look, trying to line it up to see if he got the first down or at least how close they are.
Yeah, it's decision time then for Dungy. It appears they are about 6-7 inches short. What a catch by Dave Moore.
So now without Grammatica, you're looking at Doug Bryan if you want to try the field goal from about 42 yards.
Or do you give the ball to Allstott behind Jameel Cook and run the power at the Ravens?
Well, you know, opposition teams are only 15 out of 33 for field goals this year against Baltimore, Al, which is an amazing stat. It's almost like they get fast guys coming off the corner, Woodson McAllister. They get press up the middle with their bulk. And then this Adalius kid can jump like an NBA guy. They've got all the components to get into the kickers' heads.
Well, the crowd is booing. You know, it's going to be a very low-scoring game. Points are at a premium, and I'm sure that's factored into Dungy's equation here. And against another opponent, he might go for it. But here's Bryan with Royals to hold from 42 yards, and the kick is good. So I think if Dungy thought it would be a high-scoring game, a shootout, if he matched up against some other opponent, he might have gone for it. But in a game like this, that could very well be the difference at the end. 3-0.
Hello, I'm John Lynch of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'd like to wish our military troops a Happy New Year. Thank you for serving our country and protecting our freedom.
Echoing our sentiments as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Lynch's Bucks, take a 3-0 lead. John Lynch 3 times to Honolulu. Wouldn't be surprised to see him there again on February the, what is it, the 8th or 9th? February 9th this year.
9th this year.
The Saturday. Kickoff fielded at the 6-yard line by Jermaine Lewis. And Lewis comes back out to the 31. Let's go to the field then, Melissa Starr.
Well, Al, as we talked about the last time the Buccaneers played on Monday night, John Lynch has practiced the same ritual before every game of his 9-year NFL career. Right before he runs out of the locker room onto the field, he reads an inspirational note from his wife, Linda. She writes a different note every week. And given the importance of this game, I asked her what she said to John in tonight's note. She said, "This is such a great opportunity for you and the team to prove yourselves against the defending Super Bowl champion." She highlighted how much she believes in him. She said, "Have fun, but most important, do not forget about the details."
I just want to know if it was laced with Chanel number 5.
Well, I know that's Johnny's first impulse on the field is to have fun. You know,
in his own way.
Yeah, his idea of fun is knocking somebody out. Those are the details that Melissa was referring to.
Allen just picked up 2. Terry Allen's 5th carry. He's netted 9 yards to this point, and now on 2nd down and 8, Gerback hangs in the pocket, throws underneath. That's caught by Shannon Sharp, and he's close to a first down. They'll spot it up at the 41-yard line.
Well, you knew this was a big game when he was quiet this week. We couldn't see many quotes. He was almost effusive in his praise of Ray Lewis. Or of Warren Sapp.
Well, Warren, he knows that Warren is such a great buddy of Lewis because the two played at Miami.
I think of the two as the same. It's almost like Warren is a bigger version of Ray. They both play the same way.
1st and 10 after Sharp does pick up the first down. Bucs show blitz. Here they come. And getting a free shot, but still getting it away is Todd Heap to make the catch at the 41-yard line. And coming in off the corner with a free shot was Steve White. The gain is for 17 and a first down.
Todd Heap is going to be a big part of the game plan tonight for the Ravens because of this ability to get down the field, catch the ball in traffic. Both he and Shannon Sharp are in the game at the same time, and Steve White rather, easing up on Elvis Gerback there.
Heap, their #1 draft choice from Arizona State, ball at the 42-yard line as Gerback slings it, and that's a great grab off his shoe tops by Shannon Sharp to the 32-yard line, covered there by Donnie Abraham, and that's close to a first down.
That's part of the patience that Elvis must show tonight, smiling and laughing, because he appreciates just how great that catch is, catching the back half of the ball, as right now Gerback getting hot, throwing 3 straight passes, 3 straight completions to his tight ends.
Shannon went down and scooped it like Clint Clendenin, Bina.
Don Clendenin,
the stretch man at first.
Double end.
Had that big conch shell for a glove.
And they are inches, or maybe singular, of a first down. 1:11 to go. And a reminder, the NHL begins next Saturday here on ABC. Avalanche and the Red Wings, Rangers and Penguins. Great matchup. Capitals and Bruins. In fact, the Bruins are in town tonight to face the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's 3 Eastern time. And the NHL All-Star Game will come your way the day of the Super Bowl, in fact. That's Saturday from Los Angeles this year on ABC. 2nd down and inches at the 32-yard line. Gerback chased, and then he just throws it away.
Steve White came off the other corner, but that play Simeon Rice almost loosed up, and Simeon's been coming on lately. He's got 10 sacks for the year now, Al.
In fact, because they get so much publicity that goes Sapp's way, and people talking about Warren and Simeon Rice, who sometimes gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, he got a couple of sacks last week against New Orleans, and a very mobile quarterback in Aaron Brooks. Gerback more of a sitting target back there in the pocket.
3rd and inches, and they get away with it as Terry Allen carries for a first down. Shannon Sharp was in motion and ran into Gerback, as you saw, and they got away with it.
You know, I think they got away with it because Terry Allen is such a veteran. He realized that the timing was off there because of Sharp bumping into his quarterback, but that didn't distract him or take away from his focus. He knew what he had to do. He had to get a couple of inches. He got a couple of yards.
Terry Allen, 33 years old, running on 2 reconstructed knees. Allen breaks it. and takes it to the 13. And Billick knew all about Allen, of course, when he was at Minnesota. Then he went to Washington to Terry. A 16-yard gain. He was out of the NFL when Jamal Lewis got hurt. Brian knew his home phone number, obviously. Called him. In he came, and he's been
Well, they might be reconstructed, Al, but the guy who did Lee Major's knees must have did his there because he looked pretty good.
And that's the way the quarter ends, with the Ravens driving. And our Saturday night special returns after this to our ABC stations.
The NFL regular season wraps up next Monday. The Super Bowl champion Ravens are primed for a playoff run. Minnesota aims to put the champs down to the count. Vikings, Ravens, are you ready? Monday Night Football next Monday, January 7th.
Second quarter begins with Tampa leading 3-0, and Mo Williams taking the ball for a gain of about 7 behind an Ian Badejo block. But there is a flag that will negate that gain.
That look says it all. That was a critical mistake as the Ravens have been rolling on this drive. 4 first downs so far, 2 passing and 2 running. But you can see the difference when Mo Williams comes in the game. He's got the speed to get the corner.
Holding offense, number 64. The end of the run was beyond the line of scrimmage. The holding was beyond the line of scrimmage. Will penalize from the spot of the foul. 10 yards. Repeat the down. First down.
Here's Edwin Mulatalo. He's going to be blocking on Derek Brooks, number 55 right here. Watch that right hand go out there and spin Brooks around just enough and take him down.
The spot of the foul, back it goes to the 21. That's an 8 yards behind the original line of scrimmage, so it's 1st and 18 from the 21. And on a delay, Terry Allen takes the ball to the 14. Numbers to the first quarter about to appear. I wouldn't lie to you now, would I?
Well, we've had 2 punts each. That ought to tell you that the offensive numbers aren't too good. Although the Ravens on this drive, as I talked about, are starting to get their rhythm, especially Elvis Gerback. 3 for 3 on the drive. And Terry Allen does look fresh.
Meanwhile, Tampa has taken the lead. It's the 16th straight home game in which they've scored first. Now Gerback to the end zone, and it is a juggling catch for a touchdown by Travis Taylor. One official signaled touchdown. The others were looking to see if it could be confirmed, and the Bucs are arguing, and I'm sure if Dungy has any question about this, we'll have a challenge. He goes up, he makes the grab. Nice play.
The Buccaneers and their fans are looking for a flag because that left arm by Travis Taylor pushed off on Donnie Abram. He got away with it and got the score.
And now Matt Stover for the extra point. And so they go 69 yards after they've been stymied on their first 3 possessions. Good play by Taylor. And Baltimore takes the lead, 7-3. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been in the NFL since 1976. So in 26 years, they've played 403 games. They've returned more than 1,500 kickoffs. No touchdowns. That woman is Melinda Rosser from Temple Terrace nearby. And she wins $1 million if the Bucs return a kickoff for a touchdown as part of a promotion. Aaron Stecker last week returned one, a club record 86 yards. And Melinda will see if this one can be run back by Stecker from 103. But no, he gets tripped up at the 33-yard line. Wayne Starks makes the tackle. And let's check in with Melissa.
Well, Warwick Dunn has certainly been in the Christmas spirit lately. Last week, he continued his annual program called Homes for the Holidays. Dunn helps disadvantaged single mothers in his hometown of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and here in Tampa become first-time homeowners. He makes the down payment on a new house, furnishes it, and stocks it with food. In the last 5 years, he has helped 28 families. The reason he does it, to make his mom, Betty, proud. I'll tell you more after this play.
All right, as Johnson on first down throws. And that is caught. Spinning around is Keyshawn Johnson for a gain of 8. And Melissa, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story?
Well, Dunn's mother, Betty, a single parent and police officer, was shot and killed during an attempted robbery at a convenience store while she was working one of her many off-duty jobs to support her 6 children. Warwick was 17 years old at the time. He said, "My mom definitely could have benefited from a program like Homes for the Holidays, and while these women will never replace her, I live through them and my dreams come through them."
Very special man, Warwick Dunn, who's out of the game at the moment, is Mike Allstott on second and short. Takes the ball up to the 43-yard line for a first down.
That little man living his life like a big man there.
Yeah.
How solid is that?
Florida State alum. And as we said at the beginning of the year, new offensive coordinator Clyde Christensen really wanted to feature Warwick Dunn. Give him room to roam, and there's Clyde working from the sideline, and it is Clyde himself who pulls the plays into Johnson's helmet. First down as Johnson throws, and that one is batted and knocked down, incomplete. But as it turned out, it's been partially because of Dunn's bad foot. Mike Allstott has done the bulk of the ball carrying.
You know what? Other than the running backs, I'll tell you what move I love by Dungy is the insertion Carl the Truth Williams into the starting lineup over Jack Pez Green. I think it signals from Dungy, who's often accused of being a staid coach. I mean, a great coach, but a bit on the conservative side, that he's willing to make changes this late in the season. Tells his team he thinks the game is afoot.
Tony's malleable. He just needs the right personnel. And last week, everything meshed for them. It was their best performance of the year in their round of New Orleans. Here's Allstott. Up to the 47, gain of 4. It'll be third down and 6.
Malleable. You're beautiful, man. Malcolm Glazer looked over. He thought we were talking about him when you said Mal. I don't see anybody in Modell's booth tonight.
Art is not here. In fact, Art is back in the Baltimore area.
Is this too close to Cleveland?
I don't think so. I think it's a little too late. I think Pat wanted Art to just relax at home, so Ozzie Newsome and the gang come down to Tampa. I'm sure we'll see Art next week because we're in Baltimore for the Monday night game. Johnson throws, and that one's nearly picked off right into the hands of Adalius Thomas. Said, what do I have here?
Adalius Thomas has blocked 9 passes so far this year. At 6'2", he's filling in on that defensive line for Mike McCrary. But this is a mistake by Brad Johnson. They're trying to find his tight end, Dave Moore, over the middle. Lucky that Thomas didn't pick it off.
Mark Royals, 12th year in the league, went to Appalachian State. Jermaine Lewis from the 15-yard line gets a block, but then gets taken down. Good coverage by the Bucs up at the 20-yard line. So 11:30 to go in the opening half, with the world champions leading 7-3.
I'm going to resolve to try to get as good looking as my brother so I can get as much attention and publicity as he gets in New York.
Since I've been known to drink a lot of coffee, my New Year's resolution is to drink less coffee and more water.
I first saw Monty come up there, I thought it was Tiki.
I'm just drinking coffee next year. No water.
Monty must have had a battle with kidney stones. Ouch!
First down from the 20-yard line. And keeping his legs churning was Terry Allen after he was stopped in the backfield and turns a small loss into a 4-yard pickup.
You know, Dennis, you talked about Terry being fresh and having those fresh legs. He had a broken hand, but that didn't keep him from keeping in great shape. So when he did come back, he was fresher than the other backs in the backfield, and he appears to be very strong as well.
2nd and 7. A little toss back to Allen, and he gets a couple up to the 26-yard line. Terry Allen, 108 rushing yards against the Titans earlier this season. Oldest guy in the league to hit 3 figures.
He's got 10 carries tonight, and Matt Cavanaugh told me that he wants to get him about 22. We'll see Mo Williams in there at times, as we've already seen him, and we'll also see Ian Badejo spelling the two of them.
He has 41 yards on those 10 carries. And Garback under pressure from Rice and from Sapp. And hurt again.
Yeah, that sack by that Sapp, and Simeon Rice is going to go right around Jonathan Ogden. Here is Rice. What a get off. The play action fake did not fake anybody. Not sure why the Ravens were trying to fake the draw here at 3rd and 5. Sapp coming free as well.
That was a 14-yard sack. Flag is thrown as the punt, and another flag at the 48-yard line because Carl Williams called for a fair catch and he was interfered with. So 2 separate penalties. One thrown as Richardson got the ball away, and the other for interfering with a fair catch.
Now the Buccaneers should get great field position, but they've had great field position all night, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Well, you've got a hold and fair catch interference, so both calls are against the Ravens.
And they'll take possession, and they'll take the interference call on the attempt to make the fair catch by Carl Williams.
There are multiple fouls on the offensive team. Holding, offense number 59. That penalty is declined. We have interference, fair catch interference against the kicking team. It'll be 15 yards, first down.
And that's going to set him up at about the 37-yard line.
If I was the Tampa Bay Brain Trust, I'd give this one to Brad Johnson. Go ahead, you make the call. Go deep.
Working on Germack again, 7-3 Baltimore. It's a new year and a new season, but still the same bad attitude. Dennis Leary is back. The Job. It starts Wednesday, January 16th. Coming your way at 9:30 Eastern and Pacific and 8:30 Central and Mountain. Right here, The Job on ABC.
You know, Leary's a mensch with that fireman's charity of his, Al.
Yeah.
He gets the money out directly. You got to admire that kid.
First out of the 36-yard line. Tampa going deep. Johnson going for it all, but into good coverage intended for Keyshawn Johnson, covered by Dwayne Starks. Whither Elvis Gerback. Melissa, what's the story?
Well, clearly he's getting beat up tonight. In addition to the bruised ribs that he suffered earlier in the game, now he has a strained right groin. They've been working on him, and his return is questionable.
And again, Randall Cunningham is the backup quarterback. So Gerback with 1 touchdown, 1 pick tonight, trying to walk it off, and there's Randall at the ready. 2nd down and 10 now from the 36-yard line. So after the Bucs take a shot with Johnson for 6, they go back to the ground. Done. Good hard running to the 30. I mentioned that points are at a premium tonight. All you need to know is that the over-under is 34.
What does that mean?
I'm such a rascal.
Yeah, I'm a babe in the woods. What does that mean?
That means that people, some people think that 34 total points will be scored tonight, which is a very low number.
All right.
Some people. Now it's 3rd and 4, speaking of 34. Just to finish the story. At the 30-yard line. Johnson throws, and that is caught by Warwick Dunn for a first down at the 24. Dwayne Starks and Ray Lewis make the tackle.
Just what Eric Dickerson was talking about, the effectiveness of Warwick Dunn on the draw play on the previous play where he kept his feet driving and picked up 6 yards. to this option route against Ray Lewis and the zone coverage of the Ravens. One thing about Dunn, he's so tough. You know, he's going to get hit here by Ray Lewis on one side and Dwayne Starks on the other.
They love to go to him on third down. He leads the club at 26 third down receptions for first downs, and that is caught. That's All-Star to the 20-yard line for a gain of 3.
You know what's beautiful about Ray Lewis is he doesn't need much of a glide path to really crack you hard. I mean, the guy sets up and powers through his tackles. It seems like if he's only one step away.
And a lot of times these big type of middle linebackers don't like to be operating in space. But when you have the speed and the knowledge and the anticipation of Ray Lewis, that space is shut down in a hurry.
2nd and 7. Johnson buys time, throws, and that's incomplete. Reaching and stretching for it was the backup tight end Todd Yoder, covered by Anthony Mitchell.
Boy, when you throw the ball to your backup tight end, he's only caught 2 balls all year, you got to put it right on his body. Anthony Mitchell had tight coverage that time on Todd Yoder, number 80 here, but the ball is thrown too high. Yoder hesitated just enough to where this ball is going to be out of his reach. You can see that he just hasn't had enough repetitions as a pass receiver.
3rd down and 7 at the 20-yard line. Johnson surveying, hit as he throws, and then throws it out of the back of the end zone. Keyshawn Johnson, the intended receiver, and he and Rod Woodson exchange greetings.
But a great effort by Keyshawn, knowing he's running out of real estate at the back of the end zone. Tried to keep his toes down and stretch out and catch the ball. He catches the ball all right. What an effort. I think he wants to get in that end zone badly, or what?
That would have been a touchdown in Canada.
Would have been a touchdown if Butch Johnson was in the Super Bowl.
38-yard attempt now for the newly signed Doug Bryan, replacing the injured Gramatica. And Bryan's kick is just good, just inside the left upright. So Bryan is 2 for 2. We have a 1-point game. 7:38 left in the half. Baltimore 7, Tampa Bay 6. New Year's Day, Tuesday, the Tournament of Roses Parade, the Citrus Bowl, Michigan, Tennessee, Oregon, Colorado at 4:30 Eastern, the Fiesta Bowl. That night, Illinois, LSU, so a parade in 3 games. And then Wednesday, you've got Maryland against Florida. That's in the Orange Bowl. And then the Rose Bowl, brought to you by AT&T, features Miami against Nebraska for the national championship. At the base of the San Gabriels with Keith Jackson on hand. Tim Brandt will be there. Doug Bryan to kick off for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 7-6 Baltimore. Kickoff fielded by Jermaine Lewis at the 9-yard line. Looking to cut up the middle. And Lewis with a good run back all the way back out to the 39-yard line. And Elvis Gerback, despite being shaken up twice, back in the game.
Yeah, he's got a bruised ribs and a strained groin because of some of those hits. Rough start for Elvis as he's 6 for 13. Donnie Abraham will get this interception in the first quarter. That's Rondé Barber. Here's Donnie Abraham dropping one. And then Elvis comes back with his 14-yard touchdown pass to Travis Taylor. And now here's the hit that strained his groin. See how long he can stay in there.
From the 38-yard line on first down, Gerback nearly tripped over his own lineman's foot. And that one is picked off by Donnie Abraham at the 47-yard line.
Al, you called it exactly right. He tripped, pulling away from center. That threw the timing off. And Donnie Abraham stepped in front of the receiver to pick it off. But he looked terrible going back to pass. Here's the route on the outside to Kadre Ismail. Watch Abraham read the quarterback, break on the ball. Now, did he catch it, though? The Ravens are saying that it hit the ground. This angle may tell us a little bit more. Whoa. Oh, that looks like an incomplete pass. He really hides it well with his shoulder there, rolls over and pretends that he made the interception. I got to believe that ball hit the ground, though.
Baltimore will challenge it. Do we actually see the ball hit the ground is the question.
I think you do there. Both his elbows are apart there. And that's where the ball goes. It goes from his hands right up his arms, through his elbows, and then down to the ground.
Donnie tried to sell it. He got right up through the #1 up like he was celebrating, but
well, he knows something about interceptions. 30 in his career, but not 31, I don't believe.
Billick could not have had a better look at it. He was standing right there as Dick Hantak goes to the headset.
It's like Dick Hantak's getting help over there from the Buccaneer mascot. They both had the same look on their face, didn't they?
Separated at birth. Billick has only challenged 4 plays this season, and he's won 2 of those challenges.
It's certainly not a clean catch, and the ball bounces on the ground right there. You got to wonder about that strained groin of Elvis and how it affected him as he pulled away from center and then threw late to the outside to Qadry Ismail.
If I'm Billick, I'm not liking the fact that the Tampa Bay mascot is under the hood over there looking at the replay.
You know, all right, take a look at this part of the play here first.
Looks like he got his right foot stepped on, but it's his right groin that is hurting him. That means he was a little bit sore trying to just drop back.
You know, this is a technical point, but on that replay, you don't actually see the ball hit the ground. It has every characteristic of a ball that bounced off the ground. And let's see what Hantak decides here.
After reviewing the play, the ball bounced off of the ground prior to the ball being possessed. We're going back to the previous spot, 2nd down and 10 on the 38-yard line. Baltimore is not charged a timeout.
Conclusive enough for Hantak, even though the ball sort of gets hidden behind his thigh.
But you can tell by the way the ball reacts here.
Right.
Guilty by circumstantial evidence.
And you look where his leg is on the ground, and the ball hits the ground right there. That's a good call by Dick Hantak.
And so it's 2nd down and 10 now at the 38, and Billick is 3 for 5 in his challenges this season.
Bigger question is, how is Elvis?
Mo Williams in the backfield, along with Ian Badejo, and they give it to Mo. Minimal gain up to the 39-yard line. Again, the circumstances tonight, if the Bucs win, they all but technically clinch a playoff berth. I mean, a million things would have to happen that would be so wacky as to be ridiculous for them not to make it. So in effect, they're in. Baltimore is officially in if they win. 3rd down and 10 now from the 38-yard line. And that's caught over the middle by Allen, who fights his way up to the 44, but well shy of the 1st down. He's tackled by Shelton Quarles.
Both teams are willing to play a field position game now. Both defenses are very strong tonight. Elvis with a dump off there with no chance of picking up the 1st down. But perhaps a good punt by Richardson will give the Ravens and pin the Bucs deep in their own end.
Kyle Richardson, his 4th punt of the night. Oh! And it gets blocked. Todd Yoder. And that's the 7th block of Richardson's career. And again, Tampa Bay with great field position. Their special teams coach, Joe Marciano. And Brian Billick has seen that once too often.
Todd Yoder almost blocked a punt when he took Joe Maese all the way back to the punter on the very first punt of the game. Here he is lined up right here. He gets a swim move on Maese and just comes in clean on Richardson, takes it right off his foot. Great play by Yoder, right up the middle. Maese doesn't have a chance.
It was just like him stretching out for that Brad Johnson pass down near the end zone. Didn't quite catch it, but he got his hands on it solid.
So the upside to Richardson is he's a great punter, But the downside is right there. He has a punt blocked every 54 punts, which is more than 4 times as much as every other active punter. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. And Johnson throws it underneath to the tight end. That is Moore, and he gets hog-tied by Ray Lewis. And Lewis is shaken.
Yeah, in fairness to Richardson, I think that the center, Joe Maese, the rookie from New Mexico, was responsible for that last block. Rarely do you see Ray Lewis injured. He's not coming out of the game, but he really put a tackle on Dave Moore out there.
Looked like he was flexing his arm as he was coming back to the huddle. Stays in. 1st and 10 now at the 12. Allstock goes to the middle. And he gets bunched up, but is able to chug forward to gain 3 to the 9-yard line.
This is where the Buccaneers like to run the ball. That's why they don't have many touchdown passes. Brad Johnson with just 13 on the year. Keyshawn Johnson, everybody knows, just 1 on the year. In fact, Dave Moore is the leading receiver as far as touchdown receptions is concerned. He's got 4.
See how much the Bucs pass in the red zone. Clyde Christensen calling in the play, contrary to what they've been doing for years. 2nd down and 7 now. The ball is at the 9-yard line. Under 5 to play in the half. Ravens up by 1. Draw. Done. Warwick to the 6-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 4.
You know, when Ray Lewis comes back to the defensive huddle, flexing his arm like that, Al, he might as well be pumping up the defensive players. They so feed off his warrior mentality. You got 10 other guys who are lit on fire just by that simple gesture.
Third and 4 last year. Brad Johnson, a Washington Redskin. Very tough in the red zone this year. Another story, only 43%, and he's been dumped 5 times. 3rd and 4 at the 6. He throws, and that's deflected. He tried to get it to Allstott, deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Like Rob Burnett, or Peter Bulwer rather, with the deflection that time. Or was it Tony Siragusa getting up in the air? Or did he get up in the air at all? Siragusa is number 98. There he is right there. Right hand is enough. As Brad Johnson rushed that throw to Mike Allstott.
75.
So now a 24-yard attempt for the just signed Doug Bryan. Used to kick with the 49ers. Most recently with Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago, and that one is right down Broadway. So they cash in after the block punt, but only for 3. Gramatica saluting his at least temporary substitute as Tampa Bay takes the lead again. 9-7. Tonight's game being brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. Charles Schwab, expert advice that's objective, uncomplicated, and not driven by commission. FedEx, Ground International, online or express. There's a FedEx for that. And Beechwood aged Budweiser with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. Ever since the Bucs came into the league, I think there's a whole generation of kids that have grown up thinking the name of this city is Tampa Bay. It is not. It is Tampa Bay. It is the Tampa Bay area.
Count me as one of those kids and explain further, Ricky.
Tampa Bay Bucs, founded in the 1976 expansion franchise. The great John McKay recently passed away, was the first Bucs coach after a stellar career at the University of Southern California.
We got a chance for any Bay effect snow tonight, Al?
I don't think so.
82 inches up in Buffalo.
See that? Yeah.
Greg Williams sitting there in the backyard.
At least they got out of town. They get down to New York, or at least New Jersey, to meet the Jets tomorrow. Bryan to kick off. Lewis fields the ball at the 9-yard line. And Jermaine Lewis gets run out of bounds by Yoder. So Yoder is all over the joint on special teams, blocking a kick, knocking him out of bounds. Good run back.
We start talking about Sapp and Ray Lewis, which has been the Todd Yoder show tonight. Here he is on the very first punt of the game, number 80, pushing Maese all the way back into Kyle Richardson. Now watch Maese tackle Yoder as he gets by, but I think Yoder thinks he's got something going here. Watch the swim move and the acceleration to take the ball off of Richardson's foot. Right now it's Todd Yoder 3, Joe Maese nothing.
Ravens after the Lewis run back at the 46-yard line, and then Gerbach has to sling it out of bounds. Todd Yoder, second year out of Vanderbilt. He's one of 4 Tampa Bay Bucks who went to school at Vanderbilt.
Smart players.
You don't think of Vanderbilt as a football, I don't want to say power, but not a lot of guys. In fact, I think there are only 10 guys in the league from Vandy. 4 of them play here.
And if he only would have caught that pass earlier in the second quarter.
Second and 10, the ball at the 46-yard line. Gerbach under pressure, underthrows his intended receiver, Taylor.
It looks like Elvis is having trouble just stepping forward and throwing the ball. That ball came up woefully short to the receiver on the outside, Travis Taylor. Just doesn't look like he can bend his knees and really step into the ball because of that strained groin.
Third down 10 at the 46. Gerbach intercepted, threw it right into the hands of Derek Brooks, and Brooks is inside the 20, inside the 10, and Brooks is out of bounds at the 1. He hit him right in the numbers.
And the numbers were 5-5. Right in the middle of the field is Derek Brooks. Gerbach just doesn't look good right now. Watch Brooks leg it out here. I'm almost wondering if this is worth a challenge. Probably not, but I'm sure that Derek would like to think he got in the end zone. Got all the way down to the 6-yard line. 3 picks on the year now for Brooks as he shows his all-pro form.
Gee, I wonder if Allstott might see the ball up here.
Did he step out? Tampa Bay may challenge this ruling. Where is the ball is the question.
Yeah, good call, Al. The ball was never anywhere near to crossing the plane. Wouldn't be worth taking a challenge right here. You got Allstott.
You can
behind Jameel Cook.
Right, you can dive across the goal line, wind up out of bounds, and it would be a touchdown, but not in this instance. First and goal inside the 1. Allstott, the tailback. He gets the ball and gets taken down at the 3-yard line. Taken down by Boulware.
Boy, Boulware coming off the corner. The former Florida State defensive end, but was he offside?
Flag thrown. Were the Ravens offside?
Defense.
They were.
Number 58 was lined up in the neutral zone at the time of the snap. We will penalize half the distance to the goal line. Replay the down. First
it's
down.
worth a shot. Trying to beat the snap count of Brad Johnson. Boulware, far side here. It looks like he's lined up already. His right hand is in the neutral zone.
That's what Hantak said, lined up in the neutral zone. First and goal. And this time it's Johnson trying to go over the top and does. Touchdown.
Talk about paying for a touchdown. Brad Johnson just paid big time as Ray Lewis kissed him in midair.
Hit him so hard, Johnson was thinking maybe I should have went to Baltimore.
Just enough at 6'5" to get in the end zone before Big 52 could smash him.
So the Brooks interception paid off on the touchdown by Johnson. Bryan tacks on the extra point, and with 3:05 remaining in the half, 16-7. Malcolm Glazer, the owner of the Tampa Bay Bucks, watching his team up by 9.
Isn't that the guy who hosts Inside the Actors Studio? James Lipton? Is that Malcolm Glazer?
Kind of an interviewer is Lipton. So a little dancing in the aisles. Mentioned before, the Bucs all but technically clinched. If they win tonight, they'd have to lose to the Eagles next week, and the Falcons would have to win at Miami tomorrow and then beat the Rams next week in St. Louis, and Saints don't win 2 games, and then the Giants don't win 2, and then check this out. The combined margins of what would be the Bucs loss to the Eagles next week and the Falcons win over the Rams equals or exceeds 80 points. Do you like that bet, Dennis?
That's like what I had to go through to get this job.
There were a few more ants. So even though they're not officially in if they win tonight,
looks pretty good.
I'll buy you a beer if they don't get in. Here's Brian to kick off, but I won't buy it after the 3rd quarter. Here's Jermaine Lewis to the 17-yard line. Brings it back up to the 30.
I wonder if Doug Bryan's getting tired. He's had a couple of field goals, an extra point or 2, and a very short last couple of kickoffs. Go back and take a look at Brad Johnson's 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, and the most painful one. He was barely off the ground when Lewis just hits him. And that's a legal helmet-to-helmet hit because Brad Johnson is a ball carrier in that case.
Well, you know, you miss Martin Gramatica. We tease him in a lot of ways, but he does have 10 touchbacks this year on kicks. So the little guy's got the big gam.
1st and 10 now for the Ravens, who begin with a little toss to Allen. And Nate Webster leads the charge to the ball carrier that time. Backup middle linebacker, 2nd-year guy out of Miami.
You know, Brian Billick may have a decision to make at halftime based upon how Elvis Grbac is feeling, and maybe wanting to spark his team in the 2nd half by putting Randall Cunningham in the game.
2nd and 14 from the 27-yard line. Grbac throws underneath and is caught by Sam Gash, the fullback. And the big burly one takes it out to the 40-yard line, a little short of the 1st down as the clock ticks down to the 2-minute warning. So Warren Sapp will get a breather here at the 2-minute warning in Tampa, where the Bucs have fought from behind to lead the Super Bowl champion Ravens 16-7.
If we got each other, we don't need nobody else. If we got each other, we don't need nobody else. If you can't come on the side and look at me and grab some energy, they don't need to be in teammates.
Damn it, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Put that helmet on these heads.
Ray Lewis featured in our Mic'd Up at the Half segment, coming up on the Lexus halftime show and also a bowl preview. A lot of big games coming up on ABC next week on the Lexus halftime show. Take a look.
I'd certainly like to hear that hit on Brad Johnson at halftime.
Oh boy.
Don't want to put any pressure on anybody,
right,
but I think that one might be a good one to play.
But they're mash editing in that right now.
I hope they got that in Dolby. Have that. Got that. What is that?
That's football. It's football.
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking bad grammar. I was thinking be a guy.
Yeah, you could say boom now.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't say boom. Furman will fly off the couch in his underwear. Hey, that's mine.
It's 3rd down.
After the measurement, 3rd down in inches. The goose.
The goose. He looks like he's been drinking some Sam Adams instead of playing next to him.
3rd and inches now at the 41-yard line, and Gerbach's going to try to do it himself. It would be only his 2nd rushing 1st down of the season. The other was a touchdown if he gets it.
Well, I'm not so sure about that play selection.
Yeah, under the circumstances.
He didn't get a whole lot.
Quarterback who's hurt, Matt Cavanaugh, calls the plays. One-time quarterback himself. And he does get it. So a first down here. They have all of their timeouts with 1:53.
Gerback bucked it up in there hard, despite the fact he's been dinged a few times tonight. You watch that Ray Lewis mic'd up, you get the feeling everybody is going to play hard here.
First down from the 41-yard line as Gerback throws. Catch is made at midfield. That's Shannon Sharp. Ravens come up to go without a huddle, conserve their timeouts. Ball at the 52nd and 1.
Tampa Bay will be content to give Gerback that pass to Sharp right down the field where they feel they got a shot at picking off Gerback for the third time.
Then that pass for Sharp is not caught at the 44-yard line. Line judge comes right in and says hit the ground. 3rd and 1 with 1:25 remaining in the half.
Sharp is so good at finding the small areas in these zones. It still doesn't look like Gerback has enough on that ball to be able to squeeze it in to even the smallest holes.
Gerback is 9 of 21 for 92 yards. Sharp has caught 3 of those completions. Mo Williams in the game in the backfield. They send Sharp in motion on 3rd down and 1. Gerback rolling and throwing, and it is juggled and not caught by Brandon Stokely. Rondé Barber broke up the play.
Yeah, Barber had a better shot at picking this one off. If he had that Canadian field that's a little bit wider, he might have got it. Here they are working right there. Watch Barber break on this ball. Sensational catch, but way out of bounds.
So now they are forced to punt. Down by 9. Not wanting to give Tampa the ball at the 50-yard line. Keep an eye on Yoder, who will come up through the middle again. Richardson this time gets the kick away. And Williams lets it bounce, and it rolls into the end zone. So it's a touchback. Tampa will have it with 1:09 remaining in the half and all of their timeouts.
Tell you, between Donnie Abraham and Rondé Barber, the Bucs really have some ball hawks out there in the corners.
A lot of it's the style of defense that they play, Dennis. They play so much zone that the corners are looking in at the quarterback. And if the timing is off at all, they're so quick to be able to break. They've done so much study work. You can see them talking on the sidelines, Lynch and Barber there. They're thinking about the next time they get out there and who's going to get the next pick.
This is the Bucs' worst starting field position tonight. They begin from the 20-yard line, and they begin with Dunn on the ground, picking up a couple. It'll be 2nd down 8.
Conservative play selection by Clyde Christensen and Tony Dungy, but I think they like this 9-point lead they have. Baltimore's thinking the same way. They're going to start burning their timeout.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting situation here. Once Baltimore saw that Tampa was going to play it conservatively, they figured, look, we're down by 9. We'll use our timeouts, because Tampa was clearly in a mode where they were going to run the clock out. And Brian Billick said, no, you're not. So it'll be 2nd down and 8. Meanwhile, we'll see the Ravens again next Monday night. We're back on Monday to wrap up the season. Vikings-Ravens at 9 o'clock Eastern time. ESPN's game tomorrow night from the Superdome. Redskins against the Saints. And a lot of people might be wondering, what in the world is the team doing on 2, in effect, Monday night games in a row, even though this is a Saturday edition. Next week is the makeup week in the NFL for the postponed 2nd week following the terrorist attack. So what would have been Week 2's game between Minnesota and Baltimore now becomes the Monday night game next week. This is Warwick Dunn up past the 30, up to the 34-yard line.
And there's that quickness that Eric Dickerson talked about, why he felt that Warwick Dunn would have a more successful night than Mike Allstott. Now, with that first down, the Buccaneers change plans.
They do. They change plans, and now it's the Bucs who figure to call the next time out. And that's caught by Dave Moore, but they won't have to call one. Well, yes, they will. They're going to say he stayed in bounds at the 36, forced out by McAllister, but the clock keeps running.
2nd and 8.
And the Bucs
change their plans again.
To the consternation of the crowd, do not call a timeout.
Yeah, that's that rule where McAllister forced Moore out of bounds going backwards, so they do not give him the timeout when he goes out of bounds.
Right. And that will end the first half. I can't believe the crowd is booing.
Yeah, I mean, what do they want? They're up by 9 against the world champs.
Big game. They didn't like that play call, but they lead 16-7. Let's go to the field. Melissa.
All right, Al, thanks. Brian, Elvis Gerback, the bruised ribs, the strained groin. How much is that affecting his play, and how much does it concern you?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it always concerns me when a player's hurt. Right now, the difference is turnovers. We can't turn the ball over, and we'd be in pretty good shape. Defense is playing well enough. We've done some things offensively, but you just can't turn the ball over that way.
Brian, thanks. Let's go over to Eric.
Coach, your defense has played well in the first half, but your offense has struggled. What change would you make at halftime?
Well, we have. They've got a great defense. We got to continue to pick away with the runs and see if we can hit one big play in the second half.
Thanks, Coach. Al?
All right, thank you, Eric. And a reminder that coming up next will be our Lexus halftime show. Ray Lewis is mic'd up. We'll take a look at a bowl preview, and we will do that when we come back to Tampa after this message from the National Football League and a word mark, ABC stations.
The Lexus Halftime Show, brought to you by Lexus and the all-new ES300, a new world of luxury. Here now, Al Michaels.
Halftime at Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers on top, leading the Baltimore Ravens, thanks mainly to turnovers. The score is 16-7. The last time the Ravens were in Tampa, of course, it was for the Super Bowl. They beat the Giants. Ray Lewis was the MVP of the game. There is no player on the field each week more active physically or verbally than Ray Lewis. We had him mic'd up for the half.
Watch me work tonight, dog. Watch me work tonight. Watch me work tonight. Hey, follow my lead and I promise you I'll get you there. Follow my leader, come on. Follow me. Follow me. Hop on this back.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Listen to me. If we got each other, we don't need nobody else. If we got each other, we don't need nobody else. If you can't come on the side and look at me and grab some energy, they don't need to be teammates.
Damn it, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, buddy.
You are. Ray, how you doing? Congratulations. I haven't seen you since last year, but you guys did a tremendous job.
Appreciate that.
You put defense on the map.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
You know I like
Much
that.
respect. Definitely. It's simple. 5 words. If we win, we in. We going home happy. We can celebrate New Year's the way we want to celebrate. But remember this. No matter the outcome, we got each other. Do y'all feel me? Back is on 3. 1, 2, 3. Good move. Hey, that's the way to play. That's football. We got stem. Reduce sticks. 63. Ready? Draw. I know him like a book. Let's go. I'm calling their plays when they come out the huddle.
On the 39, Brad Johnson throws, and that is caught. Keyshawn Johnson almost dropped it.
Hey, come press his ass. He ain't gonna outrun you. All right? Get your behind up. Tell Chris and Dwayne just to get their hands on Keyshawn. Game over. That's all you got to tell them. You ain't got to coach them. Tell them just to get their hands on them. Game over. I'm telling you now.
Now Gerback to the end zone, and it is a juggling catch for a touchdown by Travis Taylor.
Come get some of this. 6 points.
Gerback intercepted, threw it right into the hands of Derek Brooks, and Brooks is inside the 20, inside the 10.
Come here for a minute. Come here. Listen. It doesn't matter what they do. Do y'all understand that? These people cannot score on us. They cannot score on us. They can't even move the ball. You know why? Because we got each other. Put the smiles on your faces. This is a 60-minute ball game.
Ray Lewis trying to will his team back into it. 16-7 Tampa. Bowl preview when we come back.
Okay, we're ready. Presenting the gift. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Oh, the Millers have a new Lexus.
Not the Millers. You.
You'll find special values whether you buy or lease.
It's beautiful.
Well, we got you a new CD player.
The December to Remember sales event. Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise.
I cannot believe this!
See your Lexus dealer.
Wednesday, January 9th, 29th Annual American Music Awards.
Live.
Featuring Garth Brooks, Cher, Brooks and Dunn, Alicia Keys, Toby Keith, Lenny Kravitz, NSYNC, Kid Rock, Shaggy, Britney Spears, and more.
This is America's music.
Hosted by Sean P. Diddy Combs and Jenny McCarthy.
Wow!
Wednesday, January 9th at 8, 7 Central.
Only on ABC.
Patrick Waugh, sack at Geisman, Colorado, Detroit. Even I'll be watching that one on ABC.
The NHL on ABC. Next Saturday at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific.
Lexus halftime show continuing. 16-7 Tampa Bay leading. And of course, beginning Tuesday, New Year's Day, the big college bowl games. We have them all here on ABC. A lot of the great action will take place right here in the Sunshine State. A preview look of what's coming up next week here on ABC. Our 5-game lineup begins on New Year's Day with the Capital One Florida Citrus Bowl at 1 Eastern time as Michigan and Tennessee meet in Orlando. Then at 4:30 Eastern, the Bowl Championship Series begins with the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl as Colorado and Oregon meet in the Arizona desert. The Buffaloes, coming off a huge late season win over Nebraska, are looking to prove that they should be playing for the national title.
I could be pretty justified in saying Colorado's better than Nebraska. You know, they keep playing like that. I don't think there's any defense that can stop them.
Senior quarterback Joey Harrington leads Oregon's balanced offensive attack as the Pac-10 champs try to record the first 11-win season in school history.
Remember, the ducks are the most versatile animal in the animal kingdom. They can walk, they can swim, they can fly. Enough said.
That night, it's on to New Orleans for a primetime matchup in the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Big Ten champion Illinois takes on the LSU Tigers. On Wednesday night, January 2nd, it's the FedEx Orange Bowl. College football Cinderella team, the Maryland Terrapins, go to Miami to meet Steve Spurrier's high-powered Florida Gators. Then on Thursday night, January 3rd, the Rose Bowl, presented by AT&T, kicks off with a national championship on the line. The undefeated Miami Hurricanes look to end the debate and wrap up a perfect season with a national crown.
Mismatch. Can't should win easily. It's the best team we've ever put on the field. There's not any form of a weakness on the ball club. We're just going to run the ball, throw it, and do whatever we do.
But the Nebraska Cornhuskers are out to prove they are the best team in the nation.
Nebraska's coming into the game with nothing to lose. You know, by sneaking in the back door like they did, all the pressure's off them. They just have to go out there and play their game.
It's the grand finale at the granddaddy of them all. 5 great games, 3 days, 1 network. ABC Sports.
Let's dance.
And back we come to Tampa. Al Michaels, Dan Fouts, Dennis Miller, Eric Dickerson, and Melissa Starks. Saturday night football. No game on Monday night. It's New Year's Eve. But next Monday we go to Baltimore where the Ravens take on Minnesota in a game they hope they don't have to win to get into the playoffs. Back to receive is Aaron Stecker. And Danny Kite to kick off. Again, the Bucs, never a kickoff return for a touchdown in the history of the franchise, and it won't happen here either.
Yeah, the Ravens only trail by 9 points, but it could be a whole lot worse. That first half was a disaster. Elvis Gerback with an interception here to Rondé Barber. That was his 17th of the year. Then Todd Yoder comes in clean on Kyle Richardson. That led to a field goal. And then this interception by Derek Brooks. That led to Brad Johnson's 1-yard quarterback sneak. But the Buccaneers had great field position. They should have more points than 16. 2
turnovers, blocked punt, ball at the 20-yard line. Johnson throws, catch made, all stop. He gets banged out of bounds by Corey Harris after a gain of 5.
And when you take a look at the first half stats, you got to keep in mind that 5 of Tampa Bay's 7 drives started in Baltimore territory. So you can see they don't have a whole lot of yards, but the Ravens in control there, but not on the scoreboard. Brad Johnson just 7 yards per completion, and not a whole lot of production out of Dunn or Keyshawn Johnson.
First down, Brad Johnson leads him up at the 26-yard line. Keep it on the ground, and Warwick Dunn on second down gets hit by Jamie Sharper. And let's check in with Eric.
Al, I spoke to Tony Dungy at halftime. He said that they have to take advantage of the turnovers that they had in the first half. He said we cannot score 3 points. We need to get touchdowns. He also said that they want to get Warwick Dunn more involved in the 3 wide sets to get more pressure on their defense.
Well, he starts with a pass to Allstott, a run by Dunn. 3rd down and 7 now at the 23-yard line out of the shotgun. Blitz. Johnson whacked as he throws, and it's incomplete. It was Corey Harris sneaking in. Safety blitz.
Really a well-designed blitz, Al, as Ray Lewis lined up on the outside, and Corey Harris basically took the position of middle linebacker in place of Lewis and came right up the middle. Here is Harris right here. From the outside comes Ray Lewis, but watch Harris get in there just an instant late, but that caused that errant throw by Brad Johnson.
Talked about the 4 Buccaneers who went to Vanderbilt. Harris is the 1 Raven who is the next Commodore. 3 and out on Tampa's first possession as Mark Royal sends a low liner that bounces at the 40, fielded on 2 hops by Jermaine Lewis, and he brings it back up to the 42-yard line.
You know, Vanderbilt's team doesn't have that many Vanderbilt players on it.
Here comes Gerback. Baltimore down by 9. Ray Lewis. You can always count on Ray for mic'd up at the half, can't you?
Yeah, how's that pizza?
Thanks, boys. Freddie short-counted me there. Sorry about that. I'm just finishing dinner. No problem. First down at the 42-yard line as Gerback throws, and that's incomplete. Travis Taylor, the intended receiver. Rondé Barber covering. Here's Melissa.
Well, Al, in Brian Billick's words, Elvis Gerback is fine. Yes, he's banged up, but everybody's banged up this time of year. He is not hurt enough to take him out of the game. Billick's main message at halftime, eliminate the mistakes. He said, we're approaching tonight like it's a playoff game, and you don't win in the playoffs with the penalties and the turnovers.
That's what Dr. Nick said about Elvis all the time. He's fine.
Second down, 10. No gain. 3rd down and 10.
Now we highlighted or low-lighted Elvis's troubles in the first half. You can see that well below 500 with the 2 interceptions. That's what Brian Billick was talking about. You just can't have the turnovers in a defensive battle such as we have tonight.
Third and 10 at the 42-yard line. Pressure on Gerback. Down he goes. It was Dexter Jackson on the safety blitz and Steve White, 34 and 94.
Brian Billick may be saying that Elvis is okay, but the Buccaneers are going to make sure he's not. They've thrown 2 passes or tried to get off 2 passes here in the second half, and both times the Buccaneers came with a blitz. This time, Dexter Jackson, 34, comes clean. On the first down play, John Lynch came with pressure, so the Buccaneers are going to come after Elvis.
Now Richardson. Short, angled kick, but it takes a good Baltimore bounce. A flag goes down. The flag is thrown back in the area where Richardson punted.
Well, and you wonder if it might not be holding against Joe Maese up front again, or perhaps another of the punt block protectors there.
Would have been a 50-yard kick.
Offense, number 30, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 4th down.
So instead of a 50-yard kick and he got a very fortuitous bounce, you have a hold on Ian Badejo.
And they're going to have to punt again. So Ian Badejo, number 30, here he is on the wing here. As John Howell jumps to the inside, and that's just a clean tackle. Boy, Joe Marciano, special teams coach of the Buccaneers, really has something on the Ravens punt team. Blocked one, constant pressure, 2 holding penalties against the Ravens trying to protect Kyle Richardson.
Ian Badejo keeps tackling like that, going to send him down to cover the punt.
Well, Marciano working so hard this week, he didn't have time to shave.
Nothing wrong with that.
Richardson, line drive kick. We have another flag. And you have Williams running it back into Baltimore territory to the 46-yard line. But Hantak throws another flag.
Going to get Rabi Abdullah for roughing the punter. Yeah. Question is, this one might be 15 and first down for Baltimore.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Number 27, 15 yards, first down.
Oh, boy.
And that was 4th down and 25. Talk about a mental mistake by Abdullah. You've got no business getting anywhere near this punt at 4th and 25. Boy, Richardson lucky didn't blow out his knee, too. Abdullah's number 27. He's just got to realize that he's got no shot at blocking that one. Just let him kick it.
So an automatic first down on the 15-yard variety. Running into the kicker, a 5-yard variety, is not an automatic first down. And that's the Bucs' first penalty of the game. Couldn't come at a worse time for him, because it gives Baltimore new life as they try to climb back into it at the 41-yard line on 1st and 10. And it's a 4-yard gain. As it couldn't have come at a worse time than 4th and 25.
It's almost like a turnover. It's as if Williams ran the ball back and fumbled and gave the ball right back to the Ravens.
Yeah, but with Richardson's propensity for having him blocked, I've seen worse roughing the kickers than that. I mean, I know he took him on the knee, but it wasn't like he ran into him stupidly. He just took a dive and came down on him.
Now he's got to realize when you got a clean shot at making a block, and also when it's 4th and 25.
2nd and 6 from the 45-yard line. Allen hit first by Jamie Duncan. Gain of 1. 3rd and 5.
Gain of 1.
Gerback, last year with Kansas City, originally drafted by the 49ers, has a Super Bowl ring. He backed up Steve Young when the Niners won it all in '94, beating San Diego in the Super Bowl. Tony Dungy. He didn't figure that Brad would be available because he thought Brad was going to Baltimore. The next thing you know, Johnson indicates interest in Tampa Bay, and here he is, and Sean King is on the bench. 3rd down and 4 from the 46. And Gerback gets sacked, and that is Steve White. And Steve White is only playing this much because Marcus Jones was hurt early in the game. He will not return, and White doing a masterful job filling in.
He's got more sacks than Marcus Jones in a fill-in role. Here he is, 94, getting around Kip Vickers, but the problem with the pass protection there is that Warren Sapp is so wide, he's out in the gap between the tackle and the guard, so Vickers has to take a shot at him, and that allowed White to get around the corner.
So now Richardson to kick again. You know his leg is warm. This is his 3rd punt in the last couple of minutes. Wobbly, short. Takes the Baltimore bounce, fielded by Williams at the 20, and Williams gets knocked out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
See, there's your vigorish for going after Richardson. He's a little flinchy now.
No question.
He's got another guy rolling on his feet there.
Got the yips.
Tampa has it near midfield. And it's still the only place to be on New Year's Eve with Dick Clark and today's hottest music live from Times Square. Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve only on ABC.
Dick Clark was at the first New Year's Eve. It's called Dick Clark's Rockin' Second Year's Eve.
First down. This is Warwick Dunn picking up 3. Well, we had Ray Lewis mic'd up at the half. Here's an outtake with him talking about defending Keyshawn Johnson.
Hey, I'm gonna press his ass. He ain't gonna outrun you. All right? and the Wayne just to get their hands on Keyshawn. Game over. That's all you got to tell them. You ain't got to coach them. Tell them just to get their hands on them. Game over. I'm telling you now.
Second down and 6 as Johnson throws. Here's Dunn out in the flat, seeking the first down and getting it.
And what Ray Lewis is talking about is he was challenging Chris McAllister to come up on the line of scrimmage, press Keyshawn off the line of scrimmage. Don't worry about Keyshawn running behind him. Then he goes to the veteran, 15-year vet Rod Woodson, and tells him to tell McAllister and Dwayne Starks on the other side that if you take Keyshawn out of the game, we win this game.
More importantly, are we allowed to say ass?
No.
Okay.
First and 10 to the 39-yard line. Johnson going deep for Johnson. Incomplete. And a good by McAllister.
A good example that Keyshawn will not outrun Chris McAllister, especially if McAllister plays him deep. Look how deep he is. 10 yards from Johnson at the snap of the ball. Johnson's a long strider, not much of a fake there. McAllister reading that ball and makes the play on it. And then as he comes back to the huddle, points to Ray Lewis and says, I got you, man.
Was not Lewis's admonition to press him? Or did I hear that wrong?
Absolutely. But he also said, don't worry, he can't outrun you.
Okay.
So in that play, McAllister backed off because that was the defense that was called. Ray would like to see him up on the line of scrimmage, but can't argue with the results on that one.
Larry Webster, the defensive tackle, seeing a little bit more action tonight because of Siragusa's health. Sam Adams also had been hurt. He's worked his way back into the lineup, and now they're going to lose Webster.
And McCrary, a big loss.
Right, McCrary gone, of course, a Pro Bowler, and you talked at the very top about the loss earlier this season of Leon Searcy, loss of Jamal Lewis. So Billick trying to keep everything together and get him hot going into the playoffs. Second down and 10 as Allstott fights his way, and that's quintessential Allstott to the 34-yard line. When it looks like he has nothing, the next thing you know, picks up about 4.
And a lot of it is just pure desire, but it's also smart running as he jumps to the outside here. Watch the quick feet. Now watch how he lowers his pad level. Watch how low he gets to the ground here as he heads north. I'm not sure if that's north or not, but in football terms, this is running north. You go west a little bit, then you make that right turn, lower your head, and get down the field.
He gets a blow. Empty backfield here, empty set. Third down and 5. Quick flip, but stopped is Jaquez Green, who does not get the first down. Needed 5, got about 3.5. Tackled by McAllister.
That pep talk by Ray Lewis really got to Chris McAllister. This is an outstanding job of closing after the reception by McAllister. Watch him looking in at the quarterback. He's got 5 yards he's got to close when that ball is in the air. He does it and keeps the Buccaneers from picking up the first down.
Yeah, that first down marker, get to it truism, holds especially true against the Baltimore Ravens because you're not going to run through many tackles on these guys. It might be the best tackling team in the world.
Now Bryan has had a perfect night. This will be a 48-yard field goal attempt. His old holder from New Orleans, Mark Royals, is spotted for him. And there's a whistle. There's no play. The whistle before the play for delay of game.
Delay offense.
Punt team.
Yeah.
Punt team, get out there.
You go from 48 to 53. Well, Royals can stay out there on the punt team. He was the holder on the field goal team. And now the punter on the punt unit.
There's the play clock. Runs down to 0. Ball snapped. The real heartbreaker is that this ball was short.
Heartbreaker for Bryan.
Yeah.
Well, if he was short from 48, why not try it from 53?
I tell you, I wonder about his stamina. He's had a workout tonight.
Mark Royals halfway through the third quarter. Little pooch. Taken at the 6-yard line. Good coverage getting down there was Dwight Smith to down it at the 6-yard line.
Say pooch again, Dean.
Pooch. Gallapoochie pup.
Beautiful. I'm off the Dolls.
You are?
Yeah, I'm off them.
1st and 10 from the 6-yard line. Gerback throws, and a big 16-yard pickup to Todd Heap up to the 22-yard line to begin this drive. Denny, why are you off the Dolls?
You know what? I've rethought my position. I don't know what I was thinking, Al. I haven't been feeling myself today. I'm a little off my feet. I love the Dolls.
Wait till we get to the playoffs and the Eagle Dog comes back.
Well, the Eagle Dog creeps me a little. I had to put out a restraining order on the Eagle Dog. 30 feet, he sees time.
1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Allen picks up 3. Well, Warren Sapp, he does not have a full sack this season at home, amazingly enough. Take a look at last year's sack leaders. Glover of New Orleans at 17, Warren at 16.5. So did Trace Armstrong, then a Dolphin, and Hugh Douglas at 15. How are those guys doing this season? Not as well, as you can see. And then Green and Taylor are the only guys with 15+ sacks in each of 2 consecutive years. Hantak throwing a flag
on Kip Vickers. False start.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Remember, Warren Sapp trying to ignite a fire. Said that he was going to break the sack record this year. 7 home games, a half sack.
The amazing thing about his year last year and Leroy Glover's of the Saints last year, they're inside tackles. That's a phenomenal number. Where he's at now and where he'll be at the end of the year, a lot of double teams, too many to overcome.
2nd and 11. Out in the flat, that's Mo Williams making the catch. Doesn't go anywhere. Jamie Duncan hit him first. Rondé Barber finished him off.
We're seeing how important and critical penalties are in a defensive battle. The penalty by Vickers took away the little bit of momentum that Gerback and the Ravens got when Gerback hit Todd Heap over the middle to get off their own goal line.
Third and 11. And that catch is made, but not for a first down, as Travis Taylor, who scored the Baltimore touchdown in the 2nd quarter, comes up 2 yards shy. Donnie Abraham denies him the first down.
Wonder if we're seeing Travis Taylor move past Kadri Ismail on the 3rd down flow chart, because Ismail's got 23 3rd down receptions this year.
Ismail, by the way, doesn't have a catch tonight.
Taylor had a pro push-off in that first half. The kid give him style points.
Got away with it. Here's Richardson to punt. Flag is thrown. And this is Williams to the 48-yard line. Might be a hold on Maisi again.
Yeah,
Yoder got in there.
Yes, he did, Al. Unbelievable how one man can, on special teams, affect the game.
Well, all week
for both
long.
teams.
Yeah, all week long, everybody's been anticipating the Yoder-Maisi's matchup.
Well, Maisi's 241 pounds working against Todd Yoder.
Holding. Offense, number 59.
They got to give him some help.
Declined. First down, Tampa Bay.
Sure do. Penalty decline. Tampa has it at its own 48. Martin Gramatica pulled hamstring last week. He actually practiced yesterday, even though they brought Doug Bryan in to kick.
Well, it might be sympathetic pain from his brother Billy's injury the previous, well, a few weeks ago, I guess it is now. Say what you will about the Gramaticas, but They celebrate like no one. They're like F. Scott and Zelda. They don't come home till March.
Phil Gramatica of the Arizona Cardinals with that ill-fated celebration against the Giants. And Warwick Dunn has room to roam and picks up a first down. 17-yard gain.
Well, the Grammaticas obviously great kickers. They're clutch guys, but they also overact a little, like our friend Roberto.
First down, Tampa Bay.
You can see they have some of the similar moves out. And there's where Benini hurt his knee, jumping up like that. And they're a little delicate this year, the Grammaticas. They kind of like make Garo Uprebian look like Vasily Alexian.
Here's Allstott. And he picks up close to 10. Tackled by Brad Jackson.
How'd you like to be Billy Grammatica living in your brother's shadow when he's like 5'3"? It's a tight fit.
First down, Tampa Bay.
Now the Buccaneers are finding something on the left side as Allstott cuts all the way away from Jamie Sharper. Back-to-back runs. First it's Warwick Dunn, and then it's Allstott as Peter Boulware takes himself out of the play. Nice block by Cook.
Jamil Cook helping to pave the way. Here's Allstott.
Wow.
Picks up 4.
Remember, Peter Boulware is a linebacker, weighs 255 pounds or so, but he's been forced to play a lot of defensive end.
You know, if most fullbacks run downhill, Allstott's like that guy from the ski jump at the beginning of Wide World of Sports. He really comes downhill.
Vinko Bogataj, I believe was his name.
Of course, I didn't even try for it. I knew it was coming.
I'm just trying to remember it. He didn't have a name and number on his back. Gain of 1 for Allstott. Well, guys, you've got the Ravens here tonight trying to secure a playoff berth. The Raiders look like they're leaking a little bit of oil after last week. Pittsburgh stays red hot, though.
It's amazing how Tony Dungy seems to always get his team to play well in December. They were stumbling around all year. They're saying, oh, that's okay. We'll be all right come December. And sure, here they are.
You're right. Both teams, as we said at the top, Dungy with a great record in December. Billick's had a great record in December. 3rd down and 6 at the 22-yard line as Johnson throws, and that one is thrown away, intended for Jacquez Green. But you know what? I mean, it's looking more and more like those who doubt your Steelers, Denny, are wrong.
Well, Pittsburgh might be this year's Baltimore, Al. You might not realize how good they are until you see them hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. And when we were talking to Billick, he flat out said his MVP this year is none other than Cordell Stewart.
Gonna get a lot of votes.
How about a crazy time for a fake field goal?
Well, Mark Royals is the holder. This is a 40-yard attempt for Bryan. And Bryan's kick this time is no good.
That looks like a tired leg, too. That ball just started out right and never hooked back into the middle.
And that means Baltimore is going to get it at the 30 when we come back.
Hello, I'm Peter Bower of the Baltimore Ravens. I'd like to wish our military troops a happy new year. Thank you for serving our country and protecting our freedom.
Once again, we echo those sentiments. See Bushy out at Crawford? See beautiful? Saying that Osama bin Laden used to run a country. Now he runs a cage.
Beautiful. You're right.
I love the Bushman.
Bushy?
Yep.
Bushman?
I love the Bushman. We're coming to Baltimore next year, Prez. If you're sitting out there in Crawford with Tommy the General in his speedy jammies and beret, come in and join us in the booth.
Come on in. Come on in at halftime.
Sir.
We're open again for business. From the 30-yard line, here's Gerback. Up to the 32-yard line. Bucks say no catch. Officials said yes, he did. Terry Allen made the catch. Tonight's game being brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up, never let you down, make it a Bud Light. The Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world. Pontiac. What would you do with some Pontiac excitement? And Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Ravens A minute 20 to go in the third, and down by 9, and on second and long, it's Ismail who is able to make the catch, his first grab of the night, and out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Dexter Jackson, 25-yard pickup. Jackson made the tackle.
Buccaneers might want to take a look at this one to see if Ismail got both feet in. He really took a shot here from Dexter Jackson. Right foot down, left foot down. Great play by Raheem Ismail. Cadre, rather.
Puts him over 1,000 yards for the season. 70 catches now. His first of the game right there. Gerback steps up, fires into traffic, and guns it into Travis Taylor at the 24-yard line. Whizzed it by Brooks, who had an earlier pick.
You know, it's funny, that's the first we see a Cadre this night, but there's also another forgotten man on this offense. Where's Brandon Stokely from last year? We haven't seen him at all.
They've only thrown to him once.
Elvis getting into rhythm here, even with the bad leg. 2 fine throws in a row.
Perfect spiral. First down, 24-yard line. Big drive for the Ravens, trying to climb back in it, and Allen breaks one inside the 10. To the 2-yard line. Finally tackled by Brian Kelly, and so the Ravens come to life at the end of the third, and they will begin the fourth with a 1st and goal. And that is the end of the third quarter with the score: Tampa Bay 16, Baltimore 7. And ABC's Holiday Bash from Tampa returns after this from our ABC stations.
Bay 16, Baltimore 7.
Fourth quarter begins. Baltimore with a 1st and goal, and Terry Allen can only pick up a half yard or so. Ball coming loose, but well after the play, and then Allen gets into it with Nate Webster's knee.
You know, Brian Billick said that they're more explosive this year than they were last year. Finally, we're seeing that explosiveness. Prior to that play, the Ravens went 65 yards in just 3 plays to get to the 2nd down and goal.
Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator. His unit trying to limit Baltimore to a field goal attempt at 2nd down and goal from the 2. And here's Allen. He gets to the 1-yard line. And that's all. 3rd and goal coming up.
Derek Brooks is going to read this play and fill the hole. Watch number 55 here. Reads the lead block of Sam Gash. Defeats it, loses his helmet, still sticks his head in there to make the tackle on Terry Allen. That's why the guy's been in the Pro Bowl 4 times.
Terry Allen with a slew of 1-yard touchdown runs in his career. But he's not even in the game here, and the play is whistled dead before the snap.
Ball starts. Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Edwin Mulatalo has taken them from the 1-yard line to the 6-yard line.
Lucky on that one. Steve White was coming free again.
This will allow the Buccaneers to bring their nickel personnel in for the secondary, anticipating a pass from Gerback.
Empty set. Gerback into the back of the end zone, but too high for Todd Heap. Leaping for it, couldn't possibly have come down in bounds. They'll have to settle for a 3-point attempt.
It's like the old days when the goalposts were up near the goal line. You had to be conscious of them.
6'5", Todd Heap needed to be 7'5" to make this one to get down in bounds. Give Nate Webster some credit for forcing the high throw.
Matt Stover now a 24-yard field goal attempt, his first field goal attempt of the night. And it draws Baltimore to within 6. Mulatalo's mistake perhaps costing them a touchdown. making it 16-10 Tampa Bay. Highlights of tonight's game, reports from around the NFL, all of the day's sports news at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on ESPN's SportsCenter. Well, Melinda Rosser is the chosen woman tonight, part of a promotion here since the Bucs have never had a kickoff return for a touchdown. If they do it right here, she'll be $1 million richer, minus taxes. Taken up at the 22 by Robbie Abdullah on the short kick by Kite to the 34. Let's check in with Melissa.
As you mentioned earlier, if the Buccaneers win tonight, it reduces the Giants' chances of making the playoffs. That puts Geraldine Barber in a very difficult position. She is the mother of Rondé, who of course plays here, and Tiki, who plays in New York. She said the first 2 years in the league, their first 2 years, they played against each other, and she thought that was the absolute worst, but that nothing compares to this. Today is her birthday, and she said that the best present she could hope for is for both of her boys to walk away from their games feeling good about themselves.
Yeah, her boys playing in the 2 biggest games in the league this weekend. First down as Johnson goes back to pass. Fires too high, sailed on him, and it's incomplete. Intended for Keyshawn Johnson, who has not caught a pass since very early in the second period.
And they really haven't thrown him a lot of those crossing routes. That was a deeper crossing route that Brad Johnson was trying to force into Keyshawn, but he's caught so many passes on the shallow drag off the play action. But the Ravens, with Ray Lewis lurking in the middle, have taken that away.
Second and 10 from the 35-yard line. Dunn picks up 3. Talked about Keyshawn and how many catches he has, and this is right up to the moment 105 with 3 tonight. Jimmy Smith of the Jags with 100, then Rod Smith of Denver would be third. Record 123. Herman Moore of the Lions did it in 1995. Keyshawn would need 19 more, and he only has 5 quarters in which to accomplish that.
And 4 of those quarters against those great corners of the Eagles.
Next week.
Don't like his chances.
Next Sunday night, 3rd down and 6. Brad Johnson throws, and coming back to make the catch at the 47 was Jack Wes Green. Ray Lewis was blitzing that time. Hit Johnson as he got it away, but Green was able to adjust on the route, picks up the first.
Ray Lewis on a looping blitz from his middle linebacker position there. He's going to come in just a little bit late. You see the stunt right there. He's got the clear lane to the quarterback. Johnson fades in the pocket just enough to be able to throw this ball against man coverage outside to Green. Timing was perfect as McAllister playing way off.
At the 47-yard line, 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter with Tampa up by 6, and Allstott banging his way to the 43-yard line, gain of 4. Lewis in on that stop.
And that last play is a good example of why Marvin Lewis, defensive coordinator for the Ravens, doesn't like to blitz. If you don't get to the quarterback, you expose your corners to man-to-man coverage. A veteran quarterback like Brad Johnson has the timing, reads the blitz, and gets the ball to his receiver before they can make a play.
All you have to do, though, is hang in there with number 52 looming in your face.
A B-52.
2nd and 6 from the 43. Allstott inside the 40, bangs his way for a first down to the 36-yard line.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the Ravens defense. You might have to rate them as one of the best all time, and they really don't blitz. They don't need a lot of sacks.
Watch the explosion here. Watch how low Allstott comes on Corey Harris and just drives him backwards. But this is the sound of it. Man. Pretty good night for Allstott and Dunn. 49 yards for Allstott, 44 for Dunn.
And they're both in the game here. From the 36, they give it to Dunn. Picks
Intercept 33. Check in with Eric.
Well, watching from the field, one thing I like about these Ravens linebackers is their speed. They're able to run like linebackers, and they have great stamina. Now, we're in the fourth quarter, and they're still running like we're in the first quarter. They seem to never get tired. And they also are very good tacklers in open space.
Well, you know, Lewis has those beautiful choppy steps. His feet always seem so close to the ground. It's tough to get him off his feet.
Second and 7 from the 33-yard line. Done. And Sam Adams makes it a done deal at the 32.
Now it's going to be a legal motion against the Buccaneers. Jaquez Green was moving at the same time.
Two guys in motion, illegal shift.
Illegal motion. Offense. Two men moving at the same time. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
It's almost like a penalty. Just takes all this crowd out of the game. They realize how important every yard is in a battle like this.
Especially on a drive like this, too, because it's a 6-point game, and at worst, they want to get Bryant in position to make Baltimore have to score twice. And that's what a field goal would do here. Second down and 12. Johnson sets up, throws underneath. It's caught by Keyshawn Johnson. Johnson to Johnson for a minimal gain. Tackled there by Lewis and Sharper.
Well, I'm not sure the beginning of taking this crowd out of the game doesn't actually go back to the end of the first half when they get so tentative in their play calling towards the end. If you want to activate the crowd, you got to give them what they're here for.
They finally are going to find Keyshawn on one of those shallow crossing routes, but Carnell Lake, he knows it's coming. He took a shot at Keyshawn on his way to the quarterback.
Third down, 9. They're outside Bryan's range here. And Johnson throws this one incomplete off the hands of the outstretched Jaquez Green, covered by Corey Harris. No flag.
Again, that two men in motion penalty is going to hurt the Buccaneers. You talk about Doug Bryan's range. Wonder what it is at this point.
Well, you can't take a chance because it would be a 53-yarder, which meant if you missed it, Baltimore would get the ball at its own 43. So you're compelled to pooch it.
Unless you want to bring Lynch in for the long kick.
All about field position at this point.
Royals angles it. Oh, beautifully. Covered by Dwight Smith. That's the second time tonight he's made a big-time play inside the 5-yard line.
You asked for it, you got it, Dano.
That's a pooch and a half.
That is a Kennel Club winner.
New Orleans rocks on New Year's Day. Big Ten champ Illinois meets SEC champ LSU. The Nokia Sugar Bowl, New Year's Day in prime time on ABC.
During the break, Warren Sapp really got the crowd going, serving as the cheerleader. And the crowd has responded. Baltimore is pinned deep at their own 2-yard line. Down by 6 with 8:35 left in the fourth quarter. And they begin with a Terry Allen 4-yard burst. Lost the ball, but after the whistle. Coming up on ABC, the NHL is back next Saturday, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Colorado and Detroit, the Rangers in Pittsburgh, Capitals and Bruins. Regional coverage of the National Hockey League next Saturday right here on ABC.
What kind of years Eddie Jockman having?
Eddie? Yeah. He may be making a comeback. And Gump Worsley, too. Second down and 6. Gorbach 6 out of 8 in this half. And a little mistiming on the handoff to Terry Allen, and that doesn't go anywhere. It's third down and 6.
And coming off the goal line, the Ravens are choosing to go right at the heart of that Buccaneer defense, right up the middle against Sapp and McFarland. This is where the crowd really can help the Buccaneer defense. The Ravens do not use a silent count. difficult to even get the play called in the huddle right here with the fans right behind the Raven huddle.
Third and 6 from the 6. Gerbach to the outside, caught. Good catch. Travis Taylor moves the change, covered by Donnie Abraham. First down at the 15.
Dennis, just like you said, the focus seems to be moving away from Qadri Ismail on third down. A couple of times now tonight that Elvis has found number 89, Travis Taylor. And again, the timing is impeccable. Before Taylor is even turned around, the ball's on the way and right in front of his eyes for the easy catch.
4 catches for Taylor tonight, 51 yards and a touchdown. Under 7 to go from the 15 on first down. Gerbach buying time, throws, open is Allen, and Allen gets taken down by Quarles just shy of the first down. Second and 1.
Talk about a tall order coming off your goal line, having to drive the length of the field and get a touchdown. That is what faces Elvis Gerbach and these Ravens.
At worst, at least to get it in position where if they have to punt and then they hold Tampa, they should get the ball back following the punt in decent position. Second down and 1 at the 24-yard line, and moving through the middle this time is Mo Williams across the 25, and that's a first down. So from their 2, they've gotten it out to the 26-yard line.
Mo Williams was running behind big fullback number 32, Sam Gash. Check him out right behind Gerbach there. Here he comes, meeting that Jamie Duncan, and watch Williams just get inside to pick up that first down.
Sticking on the ground again. There's a flag coming in from the umpire, and that's Mo Williams on a play that figures to go back. 99% of the time when the ump throws the flag, that's the call.
It might be Edwin Mulatalo with the holding on Anthony McFarland.
Holding. Offense. 10 yards from the previous flag. Repeat the down. First down.
Carl Madsen is our umpire. Let's take a look from the bill of his cap with the umpire cam. Here's Mulatalo right here, number 64. There's McFarland. I've seen a lot worse holding than that. Looked like McFarland took himself out of the play.
First and 20. Up at the 16-yard line. Williams on an interesting call.
They might be able to catch him with a trap play up inside, but these tackles so mobile, so quick at getting off blocks, and then they're backed up by Derek Brooks. That's why this Buccaneer defense is so good.
Simeon Rice has added a little to his game this year. He's not just an edge rusher anymore. He had to come in and learn the Buccaneer way. He plays the run better this year.
Second down, 18 from the 18-yard line. Gerbach under pressure. Down he goes. Anthony McFarland and Warren Sapp.
Booger picking it up.
Well, when you got athletes that are so big and so quick as these two, 92 McFarland and 99 Sapp, McFarland gets there first and Sapp cleans them up. Again, a penalty destroys any momentum the Ravens might have and gives it right back to the red shirts.
Third down and 25 now at the 11-yard line. And on the ground to Williams up to the 20-yard line. And I guess at this point all you're hoping for is to punt. It's a very odd call.
Well,
I don't know what you're thinking at this point.
Yeah, you're thinking field position. You're really hoping to give your center, your snapper, Joe Maese, number 59, some help against Todd Yoder. This is the battle within the battle all night long, right in the middle.
Here's Richardson now on fourth down from the 20-yard line.
This time the blocking up front is good, but the kick is not particularly good, and in fact takes a Tampa bounce, and it will be ruled down near midfield.
God, it is bizarre to watch a former offensive madman like Billick heads his bet like that.
That's why I'm a little confused. I was trying to figure out the reasoning behind it. And I guess we'll all have to mull it over.
Get the Ouija.
Season concludes next Monday night. Final game of the regular season, Vikings-Ravens. Monday Night Football from Baltimore for the first time since the early 80s. Redskins-Saints is the ESPN game from New Orleans, mañana. Well, the Ravens now, what they need is a stoppage here. 3-and-out for Tampa. They have the ball at the 49. Baltimore has all of its timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. And here's Warwick Dunn going nowhere. Now, do the Ravens want to start taking their timeouts here or wait?
Yeah, they do.
They take it here. First one. 2 left. Timeout Baltimore. It's been 30 years, and it's still the only place to be on New Year's Eve. Dick Clark. Today's hottest music. Times Square is the site per usual. Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve on ABC. By the way, Denny, that's New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve is the New Year's Eve show?
Very good.
All right.
Monday Night Football is on Saturday night, but New Year's Eve is on New Year's Eve. There are the running backs tonight. Warwick Dunn averaging 3.6, all-stop 4.1. Nothing spectacular, but very effective. Second down and 10 as Johnson throws, and that's incomplete. And Baltimore says thank you for the favor, because if nothing else, that stops the clock without Baltimore having to spend a timeout.
Well, exactly how you would think that Tony Dungy would have just liked to have run the ball 3 times, force the Ravens to use all 3 of their timeouts, then have Mark Royals come in, pooch a nice punt down there where Dwight Smith can pin it inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
But that call there, where Johnson had nobody to go to and then had to throw it away, kills the clock, saves the Ravens a timeout.
It creates a 3rd and 10 in a passing situation as Johnson works from the gun. Brad under pressure, going deep for Keyshawn, but too deep. So Keyshawn couldn't make the play. Brad goes down, and that's about as good a series as the Baltimore defense could hope for. They were prepared to use all of their timeouts, only had to use 1.
Well, sporadically throughout the night, the crowd has been booing Dungy for running when they wanted him to pass. Now it seems to have inverted to the point where they're booing him because they wanted him to run, and he was passing.
Here's Royals' kick after the Bucs take only 25 seconds off the clock. And this is Jermaine Lewis, and he can't go anywhere. Good special teams coverage by the Tampa Bay Bucs, led by 38 John Howell. So now the Ravens, with 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, have to go close to 90 yards with 2:56 on the clock. Moments ago, that's Warren Sapp as the defense came out onto the field.
Well, Saragusa might have did the disco hand gestures in the opening, but it's Warren's time here.
Crowd into it. First down from the 12-yard line as Gerback throws. Caught underneath by Ismail. Loses his footing. Gets up to the 19. Ravens will go without a huddle. They can stop the clock 3 times. They have 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning.
And they got to start looking for Shannon Sharp working over the middle.
Sharp lining up on the right side. And they look for him, and he makes the catch. They find him up at the 26-yard line. That's a first down. Tackled by Brooks.
Important to get this play off before the 2-minute warning. Shouldn't be any problem for Gerback as he's at the line calling the play.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line. Elvis fires deep, and it's incomplete. Bracketed on the play was Taylor. Underneath he had Sharp. It's 2nd and 10.
But that's a good decision by Gerback, because throwing the ball down that sideline will help Sharp get open over the middle. John Lynch has got to be able to take care of both guys on that too-deep zone of the Buccaneers. He's looking at Sharp first, and then he has to realize that Taylor is speeding down the sidelines. Now it looks like they'll work the other side of the field because they have more room.
He has Taylor wide left, Stokely in the slot. Ismail at the bottom. And Gerbach throws to the outside, and this time it is Sharp going the other way, working the sideline, 31-yard line, 2:04 left in regulation. It's 3rd down and 5. 4 game-winning drives for Elvis in the 4th quarter or overtime, second only to Brad Johnson with 5.
And I really love that play selection because it got Sharp out of bounds and stopped the clock. Now with a 1st down here, they'll get a clock stoppage with the 2-minute warning.
And this is a big conversion right here on 3rd down. 3rd down and 5 from the 31-yard line. Buck showing blitz. Here they come, and Elvis is in the grasp and run down by Dexter Jackson.
And that's a mistake by Elvis, not reading the weak safety blitz and throwing to his hot receiver on the outside.
Elvis wanted a timeout, didn't need it. It's the 2-minute warning, but 4th and long when we come back. This game is being brought to you by McDonald's. We love to see you smile. The United States Postal Service and State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Well, it comes down to this for Baltimore. It's going to be 4th down and 10. Tampa with a win, all but technically clinching the playoff spot. Baltimore, chances are they're going to wind up in the playoffs, but they're not going to go in with a head of steam.
No, they're not. They do not look like defending Super Bowl champions last couple of weeks, and tonight clearly being outplayed on the defensive side of the ball where the Ravens pretend or expect to be the dominant team.
Well, out of the 2 teams, the one that needs the head of steam less, I would think, is Baltimore, because they've been there and won it. I'm not saying they can turn it on whenever they want. I think Tampa Bay really needs to win out if they want to have the mindset that they can actually win the Super Bowl this year and not just make a representative showing in the playoffs.
Well, they're going to take a big step to it here if they hold Baltimore on this play. 4th down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Gerbach throwing, caught, but well short of the 1st down by Qadry Ismail. Derek Brooks made the stop, and go figure that one.
Well, you got to give it to the Buccaneer defense. They come with pressure. The previous play where Dexter Jackson picks up his 2nd sack on a weak safety blitz, and now they drop back into zone. They dare Gerbach to squeeze it in. He decides to go to the short man and hopefully have Ismail make this catch and outrun Derek Brooks for the 1st down. But the throw is behind Ismail. He has to make a tough catch, and then he has to defeat one of the best linebackers in the game in pass coverage.
The cheerleader.
Well, it's a little Andre Agassi move to all 4 corners.
Well, they can't run the entire clock out because Baltimore has 2 timeouts. The ball is at the 31-yard line. They'll play it conservatively. Alston is tackled there. Timeout, Baltimore. Ray Lewis makes the hit. Take a look at this. We bring this to you almost every time we do the Buccaneers. No team that has lost to the Buccaneers in the course of the regular season has ever won the Super Bowl that season. The Buccaneers, by the way, this season have defeated the Rams, the Packers, and now on the verge of beating the Ravens.
So the Bucs have no kickoff returns in their history.
Correct.
No team that has ever lost to them has won the Super Bowl.
Correct.
They're in like statistical Rod Serling land here.
They are.
It's like an anomaly black hole.
And that's because there's almost a full moon tonight. The moon is, what is it? When it's just before a full moon, it's waxing. Then tomorrow night's the full moon. Then you have a waning moon. And then Keith Jackson will do the Rose Bowl under a possum hunting moon.
I waxed a little earlier.
2nd down and 11 from the 33-yard line. All stop. And this will write a finish to the ball game. Touchdown.
How'd you like to have those good seats right under the cannon?
Dungy wants to call timeout to talk about going for 2 to increase this lead to 14.
And give us the 34 points we talked about earlier, Denny, when I said points would be at a premium.
You talked about it. I was querying you.
You were nodding. 22-10, Tampa Bay, as Mike Allstott in a situation where they're just trying to run the clock out.
And Baltimore's just pressing the line of scrimmage, trying to force a turnover. When there's 11 men up on the line of scrimmage, once Allstott gets into the secondary, he can pick on a defensive back to run over for a touchdown.
Allstott was looking for somebody to hit.
Well, he saw that goal line there, and he knew if he didn't go north and south, he probably wasn't going to get in.
80 yards for Allstott tonight, 47 for Dunn, and all of a sudden Baltimore in the last 3 weeks becoming very vulnerable to the run.
Had trouble the last 2 weeks against Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and now tonight against Tampa Bay.
Going for a deuce, they empty the backfield, put Dunn in the slot. Johnson under pressure, and he gets sacked, and that's the end of the play. Burnett and Boulware combined to knock him down.
Short of not making it, probably the last thing you want on the 2-point is to get your quarterback hit.
Ain't that true?
A lot of success for the Buccaneers running to the left side tonight behind Kenyatta Walker, number 69, and Cozy Coleman out in front, pulling guard at 322 pounds, leading the way for Mike Allstott.
Well, Sapp's been known to take this team on his back periodically.
Right.
In a literal sense tonight.
But Joe Hamilton's a good guy to have to carry. He's only 5'10" and about $180.
He's his designated master blaster. Get the small guy to jump on.
Number 99 and number 1. That's 100%.
ESPN.com. Annotated Dennis Miller every Tuesday morning. Fauci and I, we're at dingdongschool.com.
Fauci?
Well,
Albino.
I finally caved him in. Beautiful. Cool. You don't give me Dendu anymore, though. What's the umlaut?
It's my late Christmas gift to you, baby.
Throw me that Dendu bone some. You don't call me Dendu anymore.
I will. In about 20 minutes, big boy.
Done.
Bouncing ball off the leg of Bryan is taken up at the 25-yard line. And that's one of the big linemen, Orlando Bobo, who takes it to the 37 and then loses the ball.
Bobo had a boo-boo.
Yes, he did.
I think he fumbled.
And he sure did.
A shot there from Rabib Abdullah, drops the ball, and Abdullah's on the bottom of that pile. Got to cover up, big fella.
Ooh.
He's got gloves on and everything. No way he can handle that ball. Look at those gloves.
So now Tampa Bay ready to run the clock out at the 36-yard line. The Bucs with a win, all but technically, as we say, clinching a playoff spot. They can start printing tickets.
Hey, Bino, they crunched their nemesis, New Orleans.
Well, the Ravens would still clinch if Seattle loses to San Diego tomorrow. But you will have scenarios developing as you take a look at our credits with Howard Katz and Bob Toms. Leading the way from New York, Steve Hurd, our director of information, and Fred Godelli and Drew Esikoff.
at the controls here, but you could conceivably have a scenario where Baltimore would have to beat Minnesota in the Monday night game next week to clinch a playoff spot, but there are other ways they can get in between now and then.
I'm starting to like Tampa's chances more and more, though. Like I was saying, crunch your nemesis New Orleans, take out the previous world champion. If they can get by Philly next week, they go in with a lot of mo into the playoffs.
Second down and 11. One thing about it, you know, the Jets are still involved trying to clinch a spot. Miami is still trying to clinch a spot. But if it came down to, let's say, Seattle and Baltimore, Seattle would actually win the tiebreak. A lot of scenarios. But right now, all Tampa knows is they can start printing playoff tickets. And Baltimore will leave here with a mark of 9-6.
I guess New Orleans isn't really their nemesis, but they both needed that game, is what I'm saying. They came up big last week and once again this week.
Well, Brian Billick was telling us last night, you know, we normally win the games we have to win, but we didn't against Pittsburgh. And as he exhales there on his way off the field, they didn't tonight against Tampa Bay. Bucks won it 22-10. Back to wrap in a minute. Tampa wins it 22-10 as we go to the field. Here's Melissa.
All right, Al, well, Tony Dungy said that this game would come down to whichever team had the most emotion. Mike, what was said during the pregame warm-ups to get you guys so fired up?
There really wasn't anything said. He just said there's been enough said. We've been fighting all year to get in this position. We're in the driver's seat. Let's go do it for 60 minutes.
There's been so much talk this year about his job being on the line. Now he's 13-1 at home in December. You've all but mathematically clinched a playoff spot. Is it time for those people to shut their mouths?
Of course, and this team is never considered. Coach Dungy's our leader. He's the guy we want to play for, and he's the guy that's going to be here for a long time. And I don't know why we make it so hard on ourselves, but this team has a lot of pride and a lot of character, and it's just fun to play for.
Mike, congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go over to Eric.
Thanks, Melissa. Warren, all but technically, you're in the playoffs. What would it mean for this team to make the playoffs after such a slow start?
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be different from us in 2000 when we went to Green Bay and missed that kick and then went into the playoffs a little flat. This team getting the playoffs, we expect to do some damage because every team up there we can play with, and that's what we're looking forward to getting into.
Now, you hit Elvis Gurr back tonight. You put a lot of pressure on it. Why was the defense so successful?
Well, it was a combination that we thought we had good matchups inside with me and Mac, and we felt like we could dominate them and get in 2-3 and, you know, moving around, and Simeon's always going to bring his game, and Steve White did an excellent job for us, too, but it was all four of us, and that's what we needed to do, was the Mongols to come to work.
Congratulations.
Thanks, baby.
All right. Al?
All right, thank you, Eric. So the Bucks go to 9-6 as they win by a score of 22-10. A week from Monday, January 7th, we'll be in Baltimore. The Ravens will host the Vikings. Stay tuned now for your late local news. We're on the West Coast, ABC's Wide World of Sports 40th anniversary special. ABC Sports Online at ESPN.com. Keyword Monday Night Football. Al Michaels, on behalf of our whole crew, wishing you a very safe and happy New Year. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence.
ABC Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.